with Io. He's being played solo. I had to talk to some of the players, and it feels like the hero comes online so quickly. That's why he's being played. And I don't know how you feel about Io, but the hero doesn't feel that strong anymore. We had this discussion yesterday that Io feels like he's balanced right now. That means that he's bad.
Yeah. What is this? Io's meant to be the OP hero in Dota. It's been OP as long as I can remember, but right now, yeah, he doesn't seem OP. And you compare him to the other fours, he just doesn't make plays. He's very much an enabling support who just tethers to someone, makes them this super-powered carry, but you look at what other teams are picking and playing in these 4 and 5 roles, and they're heroes that do so much.
Well-known.
Speaking of heroes that do a lot, Chen talked about as maybe one of those heroes that's going to be just banned all the time here at TI. Has kind of snuck through and been ignored by some teams, whereas others have banned him out. OG absolutely loved Chen. No tell one of those.
We didn't see a single Chen pick in our game.
10 seconds.
In some of the series, yeah, it was just complete. To kind of see.
Do you know how to counter Chen? You get Ogre by Hand of Midas. You just multicast, kill his whole arm.
Dead.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. On board with that. A lot of Ogre yesterday. In the 3 position as well as the 5, we saw some off-playing duos where Ogre was bloodlusting, like Shadow Shaman, a Dark Willow, and just these beefy, scary lanes where this right-clicking support can just utilize this bloodlust. Tide gets picked up by EG. I was looking at some of the day 1 records. Tide, 7 wins, 1 loss. This big tanky fella has been on a tear in day 1 group stage and has looked really good.
Yeah, for sure. OD still in the pool, one of the better heroes against the Tidehunter. Also, they banned the Slark themselves, which is
10 seconds.
Better heroes against them. Maybe they're thinking about OD.
5 seconds left.
OD's usually banned
Radiant pick.
Much of the heroes day number 1, and this is also a really hot pickup because it doesn't reveal anything. Can be played as position 4, can be played as mid, so
it's Radiant.
That's always a big thing at TI with, I feel like, drafts in general. You want to be first to picking at least one of your heroes that can maybe be flexible with roles, or at least lanes. OG do the same thing. Alchemist, we've seen in the mid lane, we've seen in the safe lane. So when they get to that 8th, 9th pick of the draft, they can be deciding, okay, do we want to pick a mid or safe laner? Your draft is just so much more open as far as what you can
10 seconds.
Feels like OG wants to play this fast. Chen,
it's
Alchemist,
now.
gets the good timing on the Radiance, and Chen can make a lot of movement early on.
Alk is definitely this hero, as much as it's quote-unquote carry, you don't want to go super late game with Alk. Very much a timing hero that comes online with a couple of items, and you get those items faster than anyone else in the game. The nature of Revel's greed, and, well, fast is the name of the game for OG.
10 seconds.
Want to go late game against EG, a team. To me, EG always, they like going late game.
5
EG's kind of known for playing
left.
these more late game scaling heroes. EG don't usually dominate and win games in 20 minutes. They're more this 30, 45 minute kind of.
So I'm thinking about the heroes that EG needs. We saw how efficient in one of our games yesterday, where Alchemist is being pressured after the first 5-6 minutes, where he goes to jungle. You don't necessarily need to kill him. Just follow him in the jungle, try to block some of his camps, have a good heroes that can rotate early on.
We saw it was Vici Gaming do that with the Storm Spirit mid, which is one of those Sumail classics, of course, if they for that. EG do have that final pick of the draft, so they're not going to be rushing into their mid or carry, but definitely an option that looked really good against the play style.
10 seconds.
Fnatic. For now, ban's coming out on the AA.
5 seconds left.
Treant, kind of maybe the unusual one, but it's one of those Seb special heroes.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense here. Chen, Alchemist, if you just combine the heroes with the Chen's aura, the extra 20% heal, it's insane. Yeah. Alchemist, during the ulti, if you don't blow him up, he's not gonna die.
And that's why OG, the second they pick up Alchemist,
Dire's turn to ban.
You want to deal without healing? AA is the one hero in the game that negates healing entirely. Delete that hero. And for EG, I think you can't stop the healing from happening. You need burst damage. Lina brings some to the table, but I feel like that's going to be something they have to prioritize when playing Rage. Heavy healing over time. You have to be able to burst him. And magic nukes,
10
burst.
seconds.
some response.
5
OG will
seconds
need some
left.
kind of guaranteed. You open up with. Right now, I don't think they need the out OD, even though I find OD Night Hunter, Alchemist OD a bit.
Be a little surprised to see something. Instead, Jeep still looking likely for their 5 position for Fly. Crystal Maiden, one of those 5s that you often see against Chen. The Frostbite is always well. Fly enjoys playing. Definitely themselves need some catch and
Dire pick.
the Ember Spirit coming to mind. Centro band out.
Radiant's
That's one of those
turn
heroes
to pick.
alongside Tide that's had a lot of success here.
That's how you counter it. Get the Midas. This is 5 Ogre.
Probably no Midas, but
You never know. This hero can get a lot of gold.
PM Town as well. Although one player got
Because he was playing.
10
Was it,
seconds.
their court. I mean, you get gold, you want more gold.
5 seconds
I mean,
left.
I guess for me, I'm just like, I see gold GPM Town, I get GPM Town. You know, that's my mind works in a
You
very
had a
simple way.
different opinion yesterday when Crystal Maiden and Storm paired
Oh,
up
that's
together.
true. Oh, yeah, the old CM. That's the one exception, maybe.
And this is the hero that I like against Alchemist. You have Ogre, who can easily rotate, has a stun. He's one of the strongest level 1 heroes who trade. And you have also Alina, Tidehunter. These heroes can easily rotate and just hunt down Alchemist. I love to call it between 7 and minute mark when he's vulnerable.
Yeah. Pre-lane, the pre-radiant stage, but post kind of laning stage. I mean, so when Al goes in the jungle, but he farms faster in the jungle than in the lane by the nature of Greevil's Greed. Stacking up gold, so you kill all those tiny little neutral camps that give you way more than any other hero farm.
And you want to outnumber Alchemist 5 and 10 minute mark when the minions are spawning.
OG look to snag up here, still likely looking
Dire
Jarex
pick.
or a Seb hero, something to lock down and control. Grimstroke comes out. Double unstable concoction.
Radiant's turn to pick.
You look at what the ulti combos are with the Soulbind, and then EG themselves get a Gyrocopter. You talk about coming online fast, and Gyrocopter, that being one of his biggest strengths and why we've seen Gyrocopter play. That's a hero that comes online and maybe can contest and pressure the outcome.
Yeah, it's all about the fighting right now. You wanna be aggressive, and this is where Gyro excels. He has Rocket Barrage. Once he
10
gets level
seconds.
6, he can either rotate, grab a kill, buys all these small items, couple
5
great fans,
seconds
maybe even
left.
get a drum if need. Snowball. Right now, OG's lineup is really vulnerable to... These two heroes don't have any kind of mechanism. Not enough control.
What are the offlaners you might want to play against something with Gyrocopter? Need something for Seb, like stroke +1. Hero that can just not feed against Gyrocopter. Just not feed against Gyrocopter.
Okay, what about to do? No, I'm just thinking.
I realized I was like, alright, he's gonna come up with something smart.
I mean, you
to
can
say.
always pair it up with Doom. They're using all their...
Dyer's
OG
turn to
don't know.
pick.
Yeah, they're using reserve time.
What else they do?
I'm just thinking.
I realized
They don't have last
I was
pick,
like,
so
alright,
this is where often you'll see pick up.
he's gonna come up with
you know,
something smart.
I mean, you can
You're gonna last pick
always
something
pair it
that's
up
not a
with
mid or
Doom. They're
carry.
using all
just
their
because
reserve time.
OG don't know. Yeah, they're using
Ember
reserve
Spirit
time.
now. Talked about
They're gonna get their other core first, so they don't have last pick, so this is where often you'll see teams pick up. You know, you're gonna last pick
That's actually the...
something that's not a mid or a carry just because you're picking back. Ember
10
Spirit for now, we
seconds.
talked about getting
that
catch,
unstable concoction.
and Ember Spirit brings that to the table. So
And we're seeing
Ember
more of
Elk
this
just
right
brings
now
it
outfield where he
seconds
goes into
left.
Abyssal Blade, so
That's actually
Blink Abyssal well in the mid to late
actually
game.
their only catch. Yep.
But
Out goes Blink Dagger, you kind of have that
their main
stable concoction Blink initiation. And we're seeing more of this right click out build where he goes into Abyssal Blade, so
Hunters, Crack
Blink
Shell.
Abyssal as well in the mid to late game.
I don't think any of these are
It's
gonna go
Radiant's band now.
Silver
It's-
Edge.
Yeah, it's one
doesn't
of their
seem
main sources
like
of
So
pick.
you can't...
worried about it.
They
it's
still
always
don't
gonna be a
have hero
guaranteed
that deals well with the Tide
alpha
Hunters,
from
Crack
that.
and Shell.
guess
I don't think any of
what's
these
more common
are gonna
nowadays is
build
you just play around the
Silver Edge.
use your BKBs.
It just doesn't seem
the Ravage.
like
So
they
you can't.
Because there's only what?
It's always going to be a
This is the
guaranteed.
only big cooldown that
Ulti
they
from
have.
Tidehunter.
The Tidehunter ulti.
correct.
10
yeah.
seconds.
I guess
Fight all the
what's
time.
more common nowadays
Well,
is
same
you just
goes
play
for
around the
OG's
cooldown.
lineup.
Play
They
use your
really don't
BKBs
Five
against
seconds
the
left.
Ravage. Because there's only what really.
This is the only
Last
big
picks OG with one more band. No
cooldown that they
reserve.
have.
Radiant
The
pick.
Draft
Tidehunter
is
ulti.
Yeah.
definitely been a bit of a
Fight
rushed
all the
affair
time.
for them.
Well, same goes
Or
for
Assassin.
OG's lineup. They really don't care about the cooldowns.
I would really like to see a female Storm here. I feel like there is
So
just
with these last picks OG with
Ember
one more
with
band, no
Searing Chains
reserve
here.
time left. This
so
draft
good
is
silence, but
definitely been a bit of a rushed affair
Feels
for
like a
them.
really
They ban
good
out the
Storm.
Templar Assassin. What about Sumail playing
Yeah.
that? I
Nothing
would
to
really
deal
like to
with
see a
Storm
Sumail
Spirit.
Storm here. I
Chains.
feel like
10
there's,
seconds.
I mean, there's Ember with Searing Chains.
Phantom,
There's
I don't think
Grimstroke
that's
with
enough.
his silence, but
5 seconds
Feels like
left.
10
really good
seconds to
Storm
decide
game
what
for
their
EG, for
offlane
sure.
hero for Seb is going to be.
They have
Time's ticking
nothing
by,
to deal
and
with Storm Spirit.
something that is going to be out of
Chains.
Dyer's turn
like
to
the
pick.
Gyrocopter and lane.
Phantom,
list,
I don't think
lane
that's
swap.
enough.
It's going to be Sanky. So
OG 10 seconds to
these
decide what their
invis
offlane hero for
becoming
Seb
more
is
and more
going to
prominent, I
be.
feel, at this TI so far. just
Time's
because
ticking
the
by,
limited
and
number of Sentry
it's
wards,
something
it
that
puts
is going to be able to
economic
fare
drain
against.
on your
Like the Gyrocopter in lane, unless we see some kind of lane swap. It's going to be a Sankey.
Sandstorm in lane
So-
gives you some defensive kick.
These invis heroes
Gyro.
becoming more and more prominent, I feel, at this TI so far, just because of the
10
limited number
seconds.
of Sentry wards. It puts this economic drain on your
They needed
opposing
a
team's
goal.
supports.
5 seconds
And
left.
Sandstorm in lane gives you at least some
Sanking
defensive capabilities to play against a
Sure.
Gyro.
Choose your hero or something.
Alright. D. I mean, that's a hero that can wail away on the
They needed
Alchemist a bit.
low cooldown
As far
start,
as
that's why
out
they decided
counters
to
go, I think some of the heroes we've seen
Sanking and
become
Sanking.
popular. Slack's the big one.
Stroke.
Slack was actually banned out in the first stage here.
They go for
OG's
it. Alright.
traditionally been one of those others.
OG.
The
I mean, that's a
tricky
hero
bit
that
is
can
the
wail away on the
outspeed
Alchemist a
It's
bit.
definitely going to be going BKB.
As far as out
second, third
counters go,
item
I think
against
some of the
Tide
heroes
already.
we've seen
So he's gonna be
become
getting that.
popular. Slack's the
Similarly
big one.
against
Slack was actually banned out in the first stage here.
very
OG's
important to
at least
yeah,
traditionally been one of those
One prop,
others. The
actually two props.
tricky bit is the Aux BKB time, because he's definitely going to be going
Alchemist is
BKB
gonna get-
second, third item against Tide already.
BKB.
So he's going to be getting that similarly against the OG. So BKB becomes very
Yeah,
important
you
for this
don't-
OG
You don't
side.
build them.
One prop.
There
actually
might be
two
like a
props
Bloodthorn
that,
as like a
OD
fourth or fifth
faces.
item, but that
10
doesn't
seconds.
sound
Alchemist
like
gonna get
build either on
timing
OG.
on BKB, which he struggles
that
against, and also
Chances
Five
probably you go
seconds
BKB against the
left.
Radiance
Radiance.
itself, but
Yeah, you don't.
you don't
if,
build MKB on
Alchemist
this.
goes more
There might be
efficient,
like a
probably
Bloodthorn as like a fourth or fifth item, but that's not an item you
will
build
be
either on OG.
mostly the
really,
heroes
so
and player assignments you'd
some
expect.
of that
S4 going to be
this chance
Tide,
probably go
Crit Flame,
BKB against the Radiance
Lina,
itself, but
fly on the Ogre,
see if
Gyro,
Alchemy
Sumail,
goes for more evasion on top
on
of
the
the
OG side,
Radiance.
No Tail going to be playing his signature
So
hero.
it will be
Ana,
mostly the
Alchemist is
heroes
gonna
and
play
player
back.
assignments you'd expect. S4 going to be
When
picking up
Ana
the
was
Tide,
first picked
Crit
up by
Flame,
OG, they were the
Lina,
Alchemist team who just
fly on
first
the
two
Ogre,
picked hero all day long.
Gyro, Sumail, D.
With
On the OG
Ana,
side,
of course, playing the
No
hero.
Tail going to be playing
Jax
one of
with
his signature
Grimstroke,
heroes.
Thompson
to
playing
champ.
Ember, and
Ana,
Seb.
Alchemist, this goes way back.
OD, they
Think of when
have
Ana was first picked up by OG, they were the Alchemist team
kind of
who just
needed
first you picked this
a
hero
lot of
all day
single
long.
target spells on OD.
With Ana, of course, playing the hero,
Males
Jax and the Grimstroke,
gonna be the
Thompson playing
damage
Ember,
dealer,
and
but
Seb
he's also-
playing that offlane Sanky.
With OD,
Yeah.
they have
He's not
a
going to
save,
want to be in the
which
front
they
for our
kind of
TC.
needed a
Bait
lot
up
of single target spells on OG. So
Yeah,
Sumail
often you see
is going
Fly
to be the
playing with
damage
some of the
dealer,
save
but he's
heroes.
also going to be a
Wasn't
saving hero
available
with
with
the
the
Astral.
Shadow Demon with
He's not going to want to be in the front lines. That's
Spanned
where our
out.
TZS4 are going to try bait out some spells. And you look for that Astral as a save, because yeah, often you see Fly playing some of those save heroes, and that's something that wasn't available
one.
as the Shadow Demon was banned out.
9-0-17.
And we'll hop ourselves into our opening game, OG versus EG. Game number 1. Guess for 9-0-17 is
Oh, yeah. That sound screenshot. He's got the screenshot.
He's warmed up, he's ready to go.
Sending that one to mum and dad at home. They're
I don't want to
watching.
spoil it, but that was probably a pop match.
Sure they know. OG versus EG. They're invested now. They heard all the drama.
Oh,
They
yeah.
want to see what happens, what goes down here between players, and it's the closest thing to
Dude, that sound, the screenshot.
Got the screenshot.
Soap opera.
I feel like the best item
Sending
so
that one
far
to
of
mum
the
and dad at home, they're
international
watching.
is Ring of Bats. You
I
buy
was ready
Sage
for it,
Mask and
yeah.
then buy Ring of Protection in the side shop.
Yeah, just make sure they know.
OG
OG
hasn't
versus
got
EG.
a-
They're
Mask
invested
hero.
now. They heard
Transcends expectation.
I mean, you don't really go Bassy on Sanking or Grimstroke.
all the drama.
Assuming Grimstroke's
They want to
even
see what
playing in that
happens, what
offline.
goes down here between these players, and
Is this a game where OG's maybe gonna try and secure their Aux
It's the
farm a bit
closest
more
thing
with the
to-
tri lane, or are we gonna just be seeing the typical 2-1-2 setup?
I think it's gonna be.
Dota version of our own little
Step
soap
up, given-
opera.
They can start with the 3 heroes
I feel like the
on
best
top,
item
and then
so far of the international.
back to Seb's lane.
Interesting, Anna and Seba both, at least for now, down bottom. Obviously, we're 45 seconds away from ring
Ring
spawning.
Bass. If I was Ring
They are
Bass,
looking to scout out these lanes to
Ring
make
of
sure they
protection in the
have
side
Alchemist.
shop. Hi.
Alright,
OG hasn't got a Sage's Plus hero.
Of course, it's not an OG game without
You're
a
really go
healthy
Bassy on
amount of
Sanky on
Catwell.
Grimstroke. Assuming Grimstroke's even going to be playing that offlane.
I love that they've added these.
Is this a game where OG's
Three,
maybe
two,
going
one,
to
let's
was
go!
one of those things that
try and
was like,
secure their
is this really
ups farm a bit more with the trialing,
serious
or are we going to
professional
just be
Dota?
seeing the typical
It adds so
2-1-2
much.
setup?
You don't have a chat wheel
character.
sound, right?
I think it's going to be
Me?
2-1-2.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Okay.
You're right.
So they're going to help
Alright,
Seb out,
Lacoste.
give him better
You don't
lane.
know. That's our job for today. Get on
30
the chat.
seconds
With
to
the 3 heroes
showtime.
at top, and
Oh,
then
something clever to say.
switch back to Seb's lane.
Well,
Interesting, Anna and Seb are both, at least for now, down bottom. Obviously, we're 45
Well, I have a bit
seconds
of pause.
away
Start
from
of the day.
Grim spawning.
As we
But
check
they are looking to
ourselves into
scatter
the game.
these lanes to make sure they have Alchemist.
How
in the
big's your
right
set?
place.
the shortest one.
Of course, it's not an OG game without a
Well,
Well,
kids
you
these
know,
days
now
are arguing who
Chatwell-
has a bigger Seb. Back in my days, we had
I love
different
that they've added these
measurements.
over the years. Like when they first got added, it was one of those things that it was like, oh, you know, is this really this serious professional?
the size of the
Seb.
Seb.
It adds so much. You don't have a chat wheel
Character,
sound, right? Me.
So you
yeah.
just
No,
how
I know,
big
you're
Seb
right.
can play this game.
Alright,
He's playing the
Lacoste.
Sanky.
You don't know.
And
That's how.
he is
That's
gonna
how.
be put under a lot of pressure if he
Get
was
on
up
the chat wheel for TI10.
Try lane down here.
Absolutely
Something clever to say.
Iconic axe moment where that.
Something's wrong.
That's actually such a crazy story with Seb. To think some guy who didn't play
Well,
Pro
have a bit
Dota
of
for a
pause.
few
Start of
years,
the
he came back and
as
coached.
we check
Something gets
ourselves
picked
into
up.
the game.
Well, not picked up, but something was like, okay, I'm playing. We didn't.
How big's your
You know,
set?
they didn't have somebody last minute play TI, and Seb's like, all right.
I'm gonna hop in, then you win a TI.
Kids these days are arguing who has
The way
a bigger
No-Tell
Seb.
talked about in the documentary was
Back
like,
in my
you know,
days,
I mean, for
had
Seb, it was never like he
different,
wanted to put himself in the
measurements.
team. It was just like No-Tell really felt strong. Like, dude, there's no reason you can't be on this team.
Not
You
your
know
size-
how
the
we
size
play.
of the Seb.
Like, he had full faith in Seb as a player, not just as a
See
coach.
just how big Seb can play this game. He's played
It's always
Sanky,
been such a
and
big part
he
of
is going to be put under a lot of pressure.
We've had a couple of
against the
these
CG trialing down here.
Cinderella stories
Of course.
in our Dota
It's
history
an iconic
with
axe moment
Wings
where
as well.
Yeah.
that line came
Wings
from.
at least went in that TI.
It's
not
actually
as, like,
such a crazy story
but
with
it
Seb.
was
To think
more an
some
underdog
guy who
story than
didn't
when
play Pro Dota
their
for a
team
few
that came
years,
from
he came back, he
like,
coached.
nobody really knew those
Suddenly gets
five
picked up,
players. They didn't
or
have a long
not picked up,
history
and
of
suddenly he's like,
success
okay,
in
I'm
Dota.
playing. We didn't.
And the fact
No, they
came
didn't have
up
somebody
throughout
last
the
minute
year
play
winning
TI, and Seb's like, alright,
So,
I'm
you know,
gonna hop in. Then you win a
one
TI.
TI
Yeah.
playing some of the craziest.
The way
Dota
No-Tell
and
talked about in the documentary was like,
about
you know,
Wings and
I mean,
the
for
way
Seb,
they
it was never like
drafted
he
and played
wanted to put himself in the
today.
team.
I think 3 Wings, man.
on the
Analyst
Chinese panel.
desk. Yeah.
Okay.
They have Burning, ZSMJ, and the English panel we have me, Kyle, BSJ.
I was wondering like which players you're gonna fire shots at. You know, you went nice on Fog there. You know.
Fogged has my respect. Me and Fog go back in the days
Yeah.
when we played against each other. We almost ended up on the same team for TI2.
Yeah, the thing is, the Western players who are like, you know, the superstars, they're all still playing. A lot of the Chinese players who are like, you know, the most famous, most successful players, they won TI and stuff. They retired. It's like, come on, guys, keep winning, go for more TIs. They seem like content to like, oh, won a TI, pack it up now.
What if there's a rule that you can't win 2 TIs?
Pay
Like you win a TI,
attention
you have to
now.
retire.
The battle started.
That sounds terrible. People making a legacy for themselves. Thompson, Ember, scouting out some of these lanes of rotations. Kind of, no, he's the mid. That's a mid Ember, just seeing what heroes are going where. Gives a 5. There we go. Arteezy pays him back the high 5. That's what we like to see. Drops his little.
Oh, and they're swapping the lanes already. This is the power of Chen, even though the cooldown is pretty big on level 1. He TP'd Sanking to the top lane, now he's gonna TP bottom. One of the strengths of the Chen.
Then get the lanes. They want this Sanking against Jaro. Jaro's a TP though. Jaro's going to TP bottom, but the problem is Seb can now TP
yeah,
bottom
Sanking
too.
will just TP bottom now.
Yep. Oh, that is Chen in a nutshell. Will Seb just TP right away?
Get the. He wants to take a couple of C's.
Your idol falls.
You can't have it.
Not really want to lane against this Gyrocopter. That's a hero that can put a lot more pressure on him.
So it seems like, okay, maybe not for now. They're not going to at least instantly TP. Do that. How do you see this mid lane going, Ember and OBD?
Once OD hits level 4, it's gonna become really tough for Ember Spirit. He has 1-2-1 build on OD.
Yep.
He's just gonna keep hitting him with the gain orb.
See early nulls coming out. He's just bringing out whatever stat items he can get. Life is difficult possible. Say coming out of top 7. I think that's tanking. The first point in the bar strike already is going to have that matchup against the Tidehunter. It kind of seemed like this was maybe the matchup they didn't want when the Chen used that Holy Persuasion to swap the lane, but they are sticking with their guns here, giving Chen the safe lane to secure the Alchemist some farm. Tell will come on in to make sure he gets this small camp. He really wants to get a good creep here. Yeah, he'll get the D ward. But Fly coming in just in time. He doesn't get there in time to block the camp, but it's unfortunately for Notel, it's not the creep he was hoping for.
Oh, it's a small wild wave. That's probably the worst creep you can get.
Yeah, well, the other camp was the Kobolds. He's hoping for like the Harpy or something there. Or the little ghost with the slow.
Oh, top lane, don't miss it.
Wouldn't dream of it. Another bar is coming in a second. First blood. No, he hasn't. It's X4 and crit who get the kill. Revenge one on Jarek, but
With another stun, that's Dream Stroke.
Double kill.
two more right clicks. He's got the early point in the fiery soul for the attack speed.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Kill on Chris Lee.
1000 gold on Lina. She's also level 3.
Just casual 1000 gold. That's where you queue up the Midas. Well, very puts out that top lane.
Oh, the play. He used the Inkswell
Dire's
before,
middle tower's
and
in
then
trouble.
he TP'd him with the Chen.
Dire again?
Cute little play, but not very effective.
It was very cute. The 2 points in the Inkswell as well. Arteezy though has a salve now. He had that Bloodlust movement speed which helped him get away as well. Right afterwards, Jarek's will be back to the top lane. If they'd found a killer, that would have looked really nice for them. Seb has some backup now, looking to get the double stun off, but has to use it defensively as he kind of backs off right afterwards, recognizing that he can't really follow this one up with any further aggression. That's our mid lane looking. OD and Ember pretty even on CS here. A couple of CS advantage for Sumel, but nothing really separating the two. Got to imagine Thompson's had to chew through a bit more regen. Bottle as well as salves.
Also, they need to control the runes, because Thompson has a bottle, so OD is gonna put him under the Astro.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And then go for the rune. Thompson doesn't have Searing Chains. He may go for the Sleight of Fist steal. Ooh, couldn't get it. You can pick up the runes during that Sleight of Fist if you're on top
If you're
of it.
good.
And it looked like Sumel actually stopped moving, so he wasn't on top of the rune. So he couldn't maybe pick it up with that Sleight of Fist. I think Sumel, it seemed like he saw it coming. Nice attempted rune steal by the Ember. Thompson. Gonna be forced out of this lane a little bit. The level 5 OD, 3 points in the Astral. Very hard to lane against now. I think Ember just feeling like he's gonna have better time in the jungle. 2 points in the Flame Guard.
He was relying to get a rune, refill the bottle. Now he needs to be a bit cautious, or just farm under the
Radiant's
tower.
middle
He's
tower
level
is
5,
not
3
feeling the
points in
love.
Slight.
Got to keep an eye for these bounty runes. 5 minutes in, Alchemist in the game. Both teams typically going to be eyeing off bounty runes here. No tell. Can he get either of these? I imagine he's going to struggle. He may go for the deny here. Will he get it in time? Ogre is there, so he can't deny it. 3 bounty runes.
That's how you play against Alchemist. Try to steal as many bounties as possible. Top lane.
If they're going in, they hit the Inkswell. S4. They're in trouble here. Does look to turn. Throw the anchor smash for Seb. Forces him back. 10 stick charges on Seb. He's trying to bait in some aggression here. Early days, it is EG with an edge in the late stage. Definitely. The missile denied by EG. Top lane. Down crit. Jackson Seb teaming up for that one. These early points in the big squall. Combo with the Sanking, the Virus Strike initiation. Looking pretty scary. Potent stuff. No tell. What a teammate. P's just to get this stack off, I believe. That That is true 5-position support play. This rune, can Thompson get this? He doesn't. Another rune stolen by EG. They're doing such a good job controlling these runes. Denying them time and time again from Thompson's Ember Spirit, who would love to have gotten some of these. Spottle. His life's so much more difficult.
And I love the build on Submail this game. He goes for 3 Null Talisman, boots, so he can take a fight. Like, this hero can be really aggressive early on with this kind of a build.
And with that haste rune, Fly ran in. He gets a ward down deep in the enemy jungle. And by the top shrine, he just scouts, but over in the other side of the jungle. Oh, and he's also scouting. He's not blocking either camp. They just want to get vision of the Alchemist so they can go for some kills, perhaps. And I guess if you do block those camps, you risk feeding away gold because it becomes very easy to de-ward those observer wards.
Probability of winning to be above 99%.
We go. How's this? How do you feel like this early game has fared? Is either team pulled ahead, or is it just?
It's pretty even. Alchemist is now just farming the jungle. This is the time where EG
top tower
needs
might
to buy
be going
some
down.
smokes and trying to take some stacks from him. Lina is level 4, 2 points in Dragon Slave. She can easily steal some of the creep. Also, Gyro just hit level 6. If they want to make a move, he can easily rotate as well.
Instantly, Fly and Arteezy were running at this chance. They'll be able to do a whole lot.
But you need to buy a smoke and play some.
Oh, no tails tipping Fly. Oh,
Radiant's
no.
middle tower is under
Careful.
attack.
He saw that gank coming and he says, "I see you, buddy." I was using that word to describe it.
Jarek is gonna kill that observer ward
Radiant's
straight away.
bottom tower's still there, but not for long.
Yeah, they know that OG's playing so well. They understand how to play with Alchemist. That this goes far back. They already placed an observer ward. The only way to approach is pretty much with the smoke.
Playing Sand King to level 6, not going for the epicenter. So
Radiant's middle
similar to the
tower
Tide,
is
the
under
Tide is
attack.
holding a skill point. So if he wants to steal that Ravage, he can. And just rotate in. Go for that early Sleight of Fist. Doesn't have any points in the series case, but level 4 Sleight of Fist does a lot of damage. Derek's in some trouble. He gets stunned up. The cooldown follow-up is there. This should be a kill, but if OG can cut it just to 1 loss,
It doesn't matter. They can just show on the lanes, try to make something happen with only Jarek's being the casualty. I think they're fine with that because Alchemist is farming.
absolutely. Got 2 other lanes being farmed. Seb's just going to use a Burrow Strike to make sure he gets the last hit on the creeps. And Eswell getting kind of low here, but has got a casual cloak. Should be just fine. Until perhaps Grim's goes up 3 points in Inkswell. You may Kraken off a stun from the Burrow Strike, but if the Inkswell hits you after that, you could be in trouble. And he's leveled up the epicenter, so I believe they are looking for a kill up here. They go for this Burrow Strike.
Dire's putting a hurt on
Setting a
Radiant's
point.
middle
Full
tower.
Ravage. There it
Radiant
is.
called in the
Phantom.
fortification.
Didn't get. Oh, they didn't get keep the silence on. Now they will start the kill.
Dire's
All
top
right.
tower is
He
under
used
attack.
Inkswell on the creep.
Radiant's middle tower is not feeling the love.
Damage from the
Dire structures
coming out
on
from the duo.
fortified.
More than enough to get the kill here. Now they're rotating in mid. Thompson has to be a little bit careful here. Does have that 4 points of
Dire's
sleight
top
of fist.
tower is under attack.
Fire ripples to get out of there. Maybe another cooldown from Arteezy. He's looking for no tail.
Radiant's middle tower
Definitely
is
looking
under
like a dead
attack.
Chen here. Doesn't have level 6. No hand of God, but the Sand King shows up from the side. Has got the epicenter ball for Burrow Strike.
Dire's top
Defensively
tower
out.
is under
Jones on
attack.
the live fly. Going to take all of that damage here. As Seven comes back. Looking for the UC. Going to die, but he in the process gets the kill for Jerax. Great bit of play coming out from OG, who turned around with the over-aggression here. No steering chains. Level 7 still on the Ember. Can't stop the TP out, but
They needed a Tide Hunter in that fight.
Radiant are
Dive.
scanning for enemies.
And 4 TP bottom.
yeah, even if DP mid though, you're playing behind the enemy T1 tower, so it's very hard to get there on the map.
Oh, they're gonna get the maybe 4.
For my
Volker got the stun. They could have gotten the 4 wounds, but
99%.
I think they're gonna be fine with just 3 of those.
3 is like what you're hoping for. If you do really well, you're getting 4. We'll see another replay of this fight here. Again, Arteezy's very gung-ho about just dropping this cooldown the second the hero gets stunned up. It gets these early kills, but Sisu Mail here, he's coming in from behind, and Tide is still dead. So this fight's broken. If you're Tide Hunter, you're respawning, you feel like you can't get to this fight because it's not near one of your towers. Your team playing behind
Radiant's
the
bottom
enemy
tower
line
is
makes
under
it so
attack.
hard to get into.
Yeah, let's just get out them there. Now Chen is almost level
Radiant's
6.
bottom tower needs a hand.
Is he bringing? He already used them.
Alchemist as far as Radiance time is going. Not looking for that 11, 12
Radiant's
minute
bottom
Radiance. He
tower
did
is
go for
under
double
attack.
bracer and phase boots, all the small
Radiant's
items.
bottom tower has fallen.
I have a good vision on the Alchemist. Two deep observer boards placed where
Dire's
near the
top
camps where
tower is
Alchemist,
about to be
lost
Radiant's
the
top
gank.
rubble.
Vision's one thing though, they haven't used that to actually try and gank him just yet.
They're just giving
Dire's
him the
top
meme look.
tower is under attack.
Okay, coming in, the CS full Thompson.
Dire's top tower is
Say
under
level 8 now.
attack.
Still not moving the Searing Chains, wants to prioritize more defensive build.
Radiant
Gonna
fortified
run
their
on forward,
structures.
has got the
Pretty good
control
move.
now. It's not looking good with
Radiant's
Slider.
middle tower is under attack.
Thompson, Slider Fist is there with the Bar Strike follow-up. They may get S4 as well. He's been silenced up now as well. Has got the Ravage. He can get rid of the silence. He's not going to get a chance to go for it though. Not sure it would have mattered too much as well, as Arteezy wasn't really in fighting shape there. All of his mana. Call down and OG.
They're just breaking the numbers every single time they have an extra hero, sometimes even two. And meanwhile, Alchemist is just farming.
Invisibility.
Thompson. Trying to fire Remnant away from this one.
Dire's middle tower looks to be disintegrating.
Looking to go for Arteezy. Sorry for the extra messages. We've got some
You're
third
chatting,
I turned off my Steam, but apparently messages still show up. I don't know what's going on here. Apologies for that. Shout out to her. Dota 2. But as it stands, OG 2k gold lead. This is what you want though. This is the Alchemist stuff. You typically, if you don't have a gold lead with Alchemist around 15 minutes or so in the game, you've struggled in the early game. But they're winning these fights while the Alchemist continues to farm for that Radiance.
Yeah, we still didn't see the Ravage. S4 is not having a good time. 0, 3, and 1 at this point. He can't blink out. Sandstorm is gonna cancel.
Nicely done. They're just finding kills wherever they go. And when you can play this well as a 4-man unit while you've got this hard carry farming, that's like OG in their comfort zone. They love these games where
bottom
Panic can
tower.
just
Don't
hit
look
creeps,
good.
come online in the mid game and just cause all kinds of problems.
And I love what Thompson was doing. He was just showing on the lanes. He doesn't necessarily need to get a kill or maybe something happened. He's just buying time for Alchemist because his laning stage was really not the greatest, and he's making a comeback. 4 points in Grievous Greed. That's gonna be a Radiance. One more creep camp and that's it.
Key rate 13.5. Quite maybe the normal fast Alchemist timing you're hoping for, but still very good. And considering how the rest of the game is going with some of these heroes that have been shut down,
Absolutely perfect.
is
Positioning
Dire's
from
top
Jarek.
tower is about to be
is
Radiant's top
his
rubble.
second name is Smokebreaker.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Comforting rune of regeneration.
Dire's putting up a
managed
barricade.
to prevent another EG rotation. It just feels like OG have this sixth sense right now for all these rotations coming in.
A lot of meme boards from OG from the early start. They're reading the map so well. Now they have that Radiance. It's go time. Sanking has a Blink Dagger. They instantly split.
Dire are scanning, trying to find those sneaky bums.
At the same time, EG. Talk about OG reading EG's movement.
Radiant's
It goes
bottom
both
tower
ways. They
needs a
try to
hand.
scan. They see this movement coming. Will they try and bait and take this fight? They need to tie. The Ravage is coming. It's not quite near in time for Hazard. He's going to be careful. He's going to go down. There's not going to be BKB yet. Ty's rotating in from the side, but they're going to throw the Ravage. He hits several. They kill No-Tail. He instantly buys back to come back in the fight. No-Tail will be TPing back in as Thompson in the front line. With that blink gun, he's just so damn tanky. The Slice Mismatch does so much damage in this stage of the game. They're going to look for a fourth kill here. They want it.
Dire's middle tower is under
EG
attack.
can do to win this one. Another Burrow Strike from 7 and finish off SR. And well, Sumail fails them. He just deeply stopped to pick up at least a boundary because this fight didn't go well. He's already used the Blink Dagger and Ashel. He's dead. Yeah. He may have got the Bounty Rune. But he's getting some tips. OG, 4k gold lead. They just completely team-wiped EG. They killed every single hero in the game. They will lose Jarek. He gets caught, left behind, but ultimately that is a support. Mr. Smokebreaker himself. Sometimes you die for those smoke breaks.
Yeah, really well played by OG. They use the Ink Spell on a tanking. He blinks in, finds the gyrocopter before he could get any spells off. And this is where the damage comes from. OD was also not in that fight. He didn't use a single spell. Once Alchemist gets a BKB, that's gonna be so tough to play. And Chen immediately buybacks after he dies, uses Hand of God, and even gets a double kill with his Q.
I mean, this is why I think a lot of people expected Chen to be one of the most banned heroes of this tournament. It just provides so much and such a nuisance from this 5-position role. When you combine it with other healing sources like the Alchemist Chemical Rage,
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Up these heals so much.
Lina is level 10 with the cast range talent. Also has an urn. I was thinking about Spirit Vessel, but I mean, it's not going to be that effective against Alchemist because he's going to have two ways of dispelling it with Chemical Rage, BKB. Alchemists don't go for Manta styles anymore. If you check the talents, they usually go for attack speed, the damage. They even go for cleave. We're gonna be discussed about it. Cleave is kind of a substitution. If you get 6 slotted, then you can sell the Radiance.
Yeah, you don't really want to have that Radiance when you go into like those late game stages of the game. It just doesn't feel like this carry build. It's like the old school Radiance Mant Octarine that split pushes and causes problems. You want to have this build where you can actually kill people, which is more what we're seeing now with this BKB Blink Abyssal Blade.
Yeah, so you just blink on someone with the Chemical Rage, you have a really good positioning with the Blink Dagger, of course.
Yep.
The Bash, insanely good against the BKB. Yep. EG right now, they need those 2 BKBs. OD, he has a recipe, Gyrocopter, getting closer, 600 gold away from it. The timing from OG, insanely good. BKB is up to Alchemist. They want to make something happen.
And they click in with the stun, the bar strike. They want to burst down fly here. It is just no good matchup with the backline. They're going to draw out a Ravage here, trying to turn this one around. Even Thompson was inside the Astral, so he doesn't get hit by this. Ogre going to buy back, going to try and take this fight, but Thompson's just charging it forward. He renders it aggressively, uses the Sleight of Fist, constantly just nuking everyone down. Epicenter with the blink in the wall. Who's he going for? He's got the target. BKB takes out the lead, changes targets, he gets dive for Flash, and he goes down, and Seb's not done with S4. That's 4 dead. Seb gets hit by his teammate as OG roll over EG. 4 heroes dead.
That's actually 5 dead because Ogre got back and died instantly. And OG is not going to stop. They're going to might even threaten the high ground. Arteezy does not have a cooldown. Black Cannon is on the cooldown as well, but they're paying Roche.
It was this race to BKB. Ana getting his BKB before Arteezy's Gyrocopter just makes it so hard for Arteezy and EG to take these fights.
Yeah, he understands that he does not need a Blink Dagger this early on. BKB is so much more valuable because they don't have anything that goes to the BKB at the moment. And the amount of heal that they have with Chance Aura, Chemical Rage, the extra 20% increased healing plus Hand of God, also Vlad's on Chen.
No shot has
They have all the T-Fight ICT rotated into the house. It's already helped secure them at Aegis. Thompson picking that one up as they are looking to just finish off S4 and the rest of EG, I think, realizing this is not a fight they want to take. And the problem is, Ravage is a long cooldown to play around. OG can just go take a fight now. We're only 19 minutes in, but they may even threaten high ground.
And Jarek's got Brown Boots, Lotus Orb, disassembled, Mana Boots. It's insanely good against the Gyrocopter. Can't use Homing Missile against Ogre, against Lina, even Astral. They have so many single target spells that they can echo.
Yeah, so we're just going to see them like pop this on the Alchemist and let him frontline, I imagine, at this point. Such a strong item to have this early in the game, and a very unconventional build, but one that
top tower
makes
is
so much sense right
scanning
now.
for enemies.
I'll take your school. Give it.
Takes bounty runes, and this time it is OG 4 bounty runes.
Top tower is
That
about
is
to be Radiant's
a
top
very
rubble.
big sign of how this game is changed. EG were, 5, 10, 15 minutes in
They
getting
found Crit on the bottom lane. He was just trying to split push the wave, hide in the trees.
Yep. He's going to do what damage he can, but I think he knows he is got no real escape unless he jukes, and he will do so. Thompson actually has... Oh, yep, missed that Sleight of Fist. All right, Crit gets out of there. Managed to maneuver his way through the trees, getting out of there, but Arteezy not so lucky. He goes down top. That was with the BKB, Seb. Epicenter, Burrow Strike, completed Pipe of Insight. So all of this AoE magic damage, which is Gyro's primary source of damage since he's got just phase BKB,
Dire's top
is going to
tower
be
is under
heavily negated by this pipe.
One thing I always liked about Seb is his itemization. He understands it to a next level. When he was playing Mac, getting a
Dire's
Guardian
top
Breed
tower
or
is
a Blink
about to be
Dagger,
rated
same goes for
top
Pipe.
level.
And
Dire's
this
top
Pipe will
tower
mitigate
is
none of the magical damage that they have against cooldown, against Rocket Barrage, Nina. It's looking all OG. Actually, it's 17,000 net rating
Dire's
for them.
top
And
tower.
21 minutes too. OG are
Dire's
playing
structures
such
are
good Dota
fortified.
right now.
Now you can quote me on this one. The game is over when you have 1,000
Oscar.
gold lead per minute.
How does that even
Well,
work?
they're not
Dire's
there
top
yet.
tower is under
They have a
attack.
bit more to go. And they are looking to just break onto the high ground.
Dire's top
And there's
tower
just
is
so little you can do. S4 does have Ravage back up. He's going to have to try and find some way into this fight to go for good Ravage. It's going to be just walking on in. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger or anything. And OG just going to stand here and hit some buildings. The Sleight of Fist spam is just so over the market. Arteezy may have a BKB, but he's already half health. He doesn't want to fight.
Barracks is falling.
With the constant chip
What
damage
the
coming out
is
from the Sleight of
going?
Fist, from the Stroke of Fate, from the Grimstock, those long range AoE nukes, just make it so difficult for EG to take a fight.
They can kill the shrines right
Dire's
now.
top shrine is
Alchemist
under
already
attack.
got him to push out the way. Will be TP'd back if they want to take a fight with the Chen.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
He almost has enough gold to buy full
Dire's
AC.
top shrine is under attack.
That is very scary. I mean, you compare Anna's net worth to his counterpart, the Arteezy Gyrocopter, and it
Dire's
is
top
night
shrine
and
is
day.
under attack.
You carry here a Gyro that's known for kind
Dire's
of
top
Hey,
shrine is
dominating and
Thrice.
coming online in the early to mid game, has struggled to have an impact this game with the...
It's one of those smokes, guys, you gotta do something because we know we're in a bad spot if we lose another fight, the game just ends.
Yeah. But OG playing on the other side of the map. The Alchemist was down there, but they're using this Chen recall to just maneuver around the map, and now it's OG who are in their way down bottom. I think having an idea of where EG are playing on the map, there's a couple of towers down here they may want to go for as well. A tier 1 and a tier 2. Arteezy playing a bit greedy, going for the creep wave. They just have to BKB. He gets caught by an unstable concoction. Burrow Strike off, and Arteezy is done for. Quick and easy kill. Crit just TPs out, leaving Arteezy to die, as he should have. There's no saving his life once he gets caught by that unstable concoction. And OG is just going to run down this bottom lane.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
Trying to find something.
Dire's bottom
He
tower
knows
is
there's
falling.
no way EG can fight him. He's also unkillable
Dire's
with this
bottom
18
shrine is
health
under
Pipe
attack.
4-star blink.
Dire's bottom shrine is
Yeah.
falling.
OG, what's the answer here? You mentioned 1k gold per minute advantage. We're about to get there. This tier 2 tower is going to
Dire's
probably take this up to
bottom
about
towers get
23k
pushed
gold lead. And it's Dota Plus 99%. EG,
It's not
what is the
Dire's
1%?
bottom
Yeah,
tower
some
has
bugs with
fallen.
100%.
Well, there's 1% for EG, and they're going to have to dig deep to figure out where that 1% is. It is looking mighty difficult. They're going out. He can't get the BKB off in time. He's getting chased. But this is the 1%. They take out the Alchemist. They start the fight off with a great kill on Alka. They are going to repel OG here. Double expires as well. EG have picked their timing perfectly as the BKB Gyrocopter goes charging in. They're going to take out the Sand King of Seb as well. And that's the turn EG were looking for. That's
What
the
a
high ground
ravage from
defense.
S4. The timing on that ulti was absolutely perfect. Man, he couldn't get the BKB up. Maybe OG execution there was a bit sloppy. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see that fight again, but ooh, there it is.
It was, yep.
And the Lina stun
Double
from
damage in
Fog,
here.
Lance and cast range talent.
You just don't see it coming. That is the power of this Lina build and why this hero is being played a lot as a 4. It reminds me a lot of like the 4-position Shaman with 8th lanes, where you're just able to stun or hex people in Shaman's case from Fog and they can't get BKBs off. Having these heroes that can play against BKBs from a support role is just so nice. Bounty runes being somewhat contested as EG managed to secure down bottom. Helps rotate in. There's no BKB. It's on cooldown for 5 seconds, but with the defensive Astral, they should be able to get this off. Anna was looking for a stun, but the blink away from Sumail is there, but he's still getting very, very low. A couple of Sleight of Fists could finish him off. Doesn't look like Ember wants to chase. I think OG maybe learning to, you know, take their foot off the gas for a little bit here.
They're still in a really good spot. The Ravage is on cooldown for another minute. Roche may respawn in a minute and a half.
Yep.
I expect them to make a move. They already killed the shrines, so they can't be backstabbed unless they use a smoke.
By the way, Anna has an Ag Scepter queued up, and this Ember Spirit of Tops, I imagine, is the recipient. He had Ags himself queued to build, but now he's like, no, I'm not getting Ags. I'm going for a fast Octarine core. Maelstrom Octarine is not your everyday Ember build, but if you throw in a pulled Aghanim Scepter, he's going to be incredibly scary and come online so fast.
Yeah. Anna only needs 1,000 gold to buy that Aghanim Scepter.
He's already got the point boost,
Radiant
so
are
he's committing.
scanning
I
for
think they're
enemies.
basically trying to turn this Ember suddenly into this basically late game hero. When you can have
Illusion.
Aghanim Scepter with Octarine core, Deuce cooldown is going to be so scary.
I mean, they can play it safe. If they don't have to rush anything, the Ravage is gonna be ready once again, so they can just wait for the next Roche, get the Aegis and Cheese.
Gee, 21k gold lead. But you've got to be careful. That unsuccessful high ground push definitely probably put some doubts in their minds as to just how secure this game is.
EG has no big items coming on their side.
You are
OG has only Mystic Staff. Still a lot of time to buy that Hex. Same goes for Gyro. They're just saving the buyback for now.
That is the big item I feel that EG can use to turn this game. To play against like the BKB of the Alchemist, and also to actually lock down and kill the Ember Spirit. Having this OD Hex would be massive for them, but it is still 2k plus gold away.
Dire is scanning for enemies.
700 gold for it.
That's crazy. You think, yeah, this... I mean, it's 4th position, it's Jerax. He does get more farm than, you know, your everyday support, but he's going to have a Hex before the OD does. He's got these 2 items that can have such a heavy impact on a team fight.
Jerax is not happy about those mud golems.
Something. Kill. He's going to stack some Ancients as well as the Mud Golem.
Well, I know who's going to be happy about mud golems. Alchemist.
Oh, yeah. Didn't get that stack, but he did get the Ancients. There we go. Yeah, I believe he... Yep, he pulled the Axe Scepter. Ember. Level 17 only. Doesn't have the full 300 damage fire limits yet.
And smoke from EG.
Yeah, they're worried about... I imagine a Roshan, which can respawn any time now. So neither team knows when
Yeah, they
Roshan's
don't know.
respawning. But EG are worried that they're in the pit. Chen Creep scouting it out. Oh,
They know where they are. They saw that one.
Yeah.
It's being pinged out
Yep.
by Chen.
That Chen Creep was right next to that D ward happening, and most teams are will notice that sentry ward randomly go missing from their map. So going for that D sentry while smoke, not what you want to do maybe.
Spirit just scouting things out with Arcane Rune and Axe.
Oh, that's so cheeky. And now Thompson, he's maybe going to look to pick off Fly here. They throw with the Blink Ravage. Can they actually bring down the inventory and get first? Even the chick kills. Is it going to be enough? They take out Thompson. Instantly buys back. Arteezy's already in with the fly. The BKB is going to delete the Sankey. Buyback from OG. They want to take this fight without the BKB on Alchemist. They should be able to have this one. Anna, can he stun up Arteezy? He jukes in the trees. Finds a new target. Can he blink out of this one? He gets Forest. The timing from Seb is perfect. As OG, they had to commit a couple of buybacks, but they do come out on top. And with Ravage down, with BKB Gyro down, I imagine they feel like they can actually break the high ground here. Look at them versus Spirit. He's just going all in. Seb's ball falls up. He's got Arteezy's got no BKB to defend himself. Zoommail, he's brought back. He uses defensive Astral, but I don't imagine Arteezy has much of this game. As soon as he comes out, gets popped like a pinata. Instantly has to buy back,
Dire
but Anna.
structures are
Gyro should be...
fortified.
Back off.
I mean, Alchemist should be careful. He has a TP and Chen can recall him easily.
Maybe waiting for Chemical Rage, or perhaps just waiting for Roshan. They are
Yeah.
still scouting this out. It's almost a max respawn, so I think they're going to be headed to this pit, knowing that it
Radiant
basically
are
has to
scanning for
respawn soon.
enemies.
And they're also headed
I'll
back
take
because
it.
for
Bounty
bounty
runes.
Yeah, you've got out.
Bounties with
Good.
Al.
Give it
Easy peasy.
haste.
That's a Hex purchased on Jerax.
And
They need to give this...
EG contest this. I don't think
no.
they can.
And they need to give Aegis the Ember Spirit. He was playing a bit too aggressive, but he knows that he has a buyback. As Remnant in the fight, he can easily come back into a fight with EG.
Yeah, they play coming. Are they going to go for a steal? S4 Mayfield has to. He doesn't have Ravage, but he's too late. The second he sees the Roach die and he's not ready to steal it, EG have to disengage. Man, this game is slipping further and further away. Lacoste, we're at that point. 31k gold in 30 minutes.
Back it up.
The 1k gold minute. That's Alchemist in a nutshell for you. This hero's rate of farm is absolutely insane. You give him this kind of freedom, and
And that's a full Abyss of Blade. He's not even saving for a buyback here. Has cheese in his backpack.
I mean, that's, you talk about openings and the 1% chance for EG to win this game. That feels like one of those openings to win the game. And Alk not having buyback, not having Aegis as well. I mean, you give the Aegis to Ember because buyback's down, but
It doesn't matter if he has a buyback or not at this point, since EG has no tower damage whatsoever. They have Gyro and OD. And they still have a tier 1 tower on mid.
yeah, if they mess up a fight, you're not going to lose your base for it, is what you're saying.
Yes. You're not gonna even lose racks. You can't lose one.
Position, Blink Fire Strike, he just forced that. He's trying to bait some spells here. Thompson follows it up as well with the Sleight of Fist. Just trying to see what they can force out here. But back in the mid lane, Alchemist, he's gone in with the BKB. He's going over here. The right with the BKB is going to be enough, and now Arteezy in trouble. He's been a bit weighted up. He's locked his place. Where's the Bastion set? Nothing. He doesn't quite find it. The Ravage is there, and Anna, he's got no buyback. He's going to be so careful not to go down here. He's got so much health regen against the rate. Tumel wailing away in the right foot. Instinct. That's going to be enough. He doesn't have the damage. The cheese is there, and now Tumel being bashed up. Stuns fall up, and GG. Drop game 1 of this 2-game series.
Didn't call dig his hot.
OG, they played so well after the late stage, just setting up the wards, dewarding their jungle so Alchemist can get his farm. His late stage was really not that great, but they managed to, I'm not gonna say come back, but give enough farm to Alchemist, and that fight at tier 1 tower where they got outnumbered and one fight after were actually crucial.
Yeah, I mean, OG were just winning so many fights while the Alchemists farm. Yeah, normally what's expected to happen when you have these, like, Alchemists, anti-mages, these heroes that are farming, your team suffers because they're taking 4v5 fights, but didn't feel like the case.
I expected EG to play more aggressive with the smokes early on, try to find Alchemist. They had the good vision on him, they just didn't make any rotations.
And OG read it, like they were dewarding everything, they just saw all the movements coming. Jerax, you mentioned, Smoke Breaker, played out of his mind.
His positioning is actually insane, especially when he plays the Earth Spirit, when he can use the roll, get on the cliffs, hide in the tree.
It was a treat to watch some great Dota from OG, and that puts EG 1 win, 4 losses. Their group stage had started off very poorly. They need some wins, and they've got a game 2 coming up. So we're going to see if EG can bounce back, and if OG, well, if they're going to be looking for the 2-0 here, especially considering all the history between these two teams. Game 2 coming up after this.
playstyle in that last game. He stopped using the enchant tome to chase himself, and he waited until his allies were giving him some drop down wards in that fight. You saw Faye jump in instead. So Paparazzi, the enchant tome was actually on cooldown for several seconds.
Dire's middle tower's in trouble.
Guaranteed
What's with
to walk down
Dire?
that
Dire's putting up a barricade.
He's gonna get finished, and that's what's that
Dire's middle tower looks to be disintegrating.
Oh, no one's doing everything he can. He's got the AoE Shadow Strike. He's got the
Dire's middle tower is under. Dire's middle tower is falling off.
Come on, Spikes.
I'm surprised they're stopping.
Wait, they got another one. No, he got the second wave again.
Yeah, but they, I mean, they're just gonna take Roche and call it super safe, but.
Scanning. Trying to find those sneaky bumps.
Selfish.
He's got the 8. He had 20k damage. Checked as, I don't even know what it was now. But now he's double at number 40k.
Our man is not messing.
Crit Shaker? Is that you just told me?
So.
Yeah, that's it. That's a Crit Shaker. Cool. I love playing 2. Fade, where are you? Losing it.
Buyback again. It's up there for the open. Actually relevant. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and even having the lockdown. Lockdown that.
Double damage.
That is higher than I would have expected. Poor Virtus Pro.
Oh god, he's got.
Three.
Oh no, this is not good. He's got a DD ramp.
Double kill.
One left alive here on the side. He's gonna get pummeled by.
I guess you're welcome.
But I don't think it's gonna matter as GG.
What if we ain't all here?
I made the submission.
Unbelievable.
Necessary. Oh, what a sick. Oh, that was pure. They straight up lied, right? Getting that Earthshaker and then hitting the floor blink was so good. You saw that big game not go that well.
No.
For VG till they had the Aghanim. Some qualifiers where it's just. Oh.
Yeah,
Dire's doing that
170
glowy
gold.
thing.
That's all he
There.
needed.
Nothing to do
That
with
was
it.
one of
Dire's
those missions
bottom
where, I mean,
barracks
that
are
ward
under
doesn't really
attack.
do anything.
Schofield trying to get the skewer back, misses.
Also doesn't have a buyback, of course, just
Dire's
used it.
top
And they're going to send in
barracks
their one
is
hero that does.
He's going to try and get a little bit of stat sealing onto Crystallize and force out the false promise. That's a good start to this fight, especially with Magical being slowed down. It gets offensive weighted up, but the BKB protects him. And now Shadow Demon's gone out of this fight as well. 2 versus 5. Chris Luck bringing more and more stats. 87 agility being stolen. You can see how quickly he's able to do damage to Crystallize, but he's just going to go in and out, poke and prod at him. There's the skewer onto Crystallize. Blizzy trying to protect him, breaks the linkage, but the BKB is activated by Chris Luck. They won't be able to chain stun him, and they have to get out. Crystallize blinks backwards. Does get the invincible blade onto Blizzy, looking to be able to lock down that hero. He actually gets hit by the snowball. They don't have it. He's going to be able to go for it. Whispers in deep. He has the BKB, trying to chase down any hero. Look for a Walrus punch. Forced to use it on the Broodmother instead. Infamous have to back up. No, they're going to keep going. And Seneco's out of position. Crystallize finds another one. They've stolen so many stats that Navi, they have to retreat. This Slark is a menace in Schofield.
114 Agi right now. They're going to have to back out from this completely. They retreat in time so they don't lose any further heroes, but they've got enough time where they can play around this last set of racks. It doesn't have any defense for it with any sort of tier 3 up.
And that is so scary against a Broodmother too.
But they've held the game so far, and that's what matters right now, Cap.
Yeah.
But Na'Vi, they did such a good job of getting out there. That was discipline. That is what Infamous needs.
Yes.
Na'Vi is a team with discipline.
What? There's a gem up. Okay. Grislock gets a gem.
Both teams right now playing their hearts out. I like that both teams are also playing for the win right now, though.
Yeah.
It's making this incredibly fun.
Aeon disc for Crystallize. He saw how much he's getting chunked by Chris Luck. And he may not be able to depend on this Oracle for the next fight as he's down for 60 seconds. So without that false promise, he has to have a way to be able to reset.
The false promise has been instrumental in saving him against the 2 cores. And
under attack.
now K1, Hector, just beating on this melee racks. This bottom rack's being pinged out too. They're going to split their attention, try to force Na'Vi into a fight. You can see that Na'Vi, they don't want to take an engagement 4 on 5. They don't have the buybacks on the cores.
There is still a tier 2 up in the top lane, so Infamous are not going to be able to go for Megas during this 30 seconds. That the Oracle is down, and I don't think they should really go for tier 4s either.
You don't really know with Infamous, though.
Yeah.
They just decide to go for it anyways, but Na'Vi, they make the call. They're saying, at worst, we're going to lose. We're just going to make this game even.
Yeah.
And I believe that is the right call by them. Infamous also made the correct call by saying, this time, we're going to go for the Shrine.
Yeah. And look at the buyback situation right now.
It's become such a... It's just a shit show right now, so nobody has buybacks.
Well, no. Infamous have 4 buybacks.
Yes, but on the side of Na'Vi...
Na'Vi, it's looking terrible.
Na'Vi, that was like their mad rampage. Like, they thought they were going to win the game with that, but with so many stats stolen by the Slark, he did such a good job of guerrilla warfare, just hitting in and out, getting away, resetting it. And with how long the stats stay with the level 25 talent, he extended the fight long enough that everyone was able to respawn.
I think that was the same idea behind why they took the 4 versus 5 on Navi's side of the map, was they've stolen so many stats, we can actually fight without the shatter.
Yes.
You know?
Dire's middle tower looks to be disintegrating.
They both loses them one fight, but holds them the game,
Dire
and now
scanning for
Infamous
enemies.
in a good advantage. They've even out the barracks situation, and they have more buybacks. This is Na'Vi for the next 2-3 minutes. They're very exposed.
So the scary part for Na'Vi in this situation is when John spawns, and if you decide to roll the dice to all in.
Right.
Because that is going to be, that Roshan, it's a cornucopia. It'll give everything.
Yeah.
It's the 4th one of the game. Infamous will all of a sudden have the double RP if they want it. They could get a refresher too for... I actually think it's not a terrible idea to get a refresher on the slot. You give him the Aegis first.
Yeah.
Give him the refresher so that he can full toolkit again.
Yeah.
You get double ulti, double BKB, double Abyssal.
Oh, he's got the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yes.
I did not notice that.
He
that
just
is
picked it
actually
up.
sick.
I actually think that's the play, is to give him
Okay.
the ability to double it up.
Like, he can now use it to, like, protect Hector if Hector gets...
and then you give Whisper the Aghanim's Blessing so that he can kick people away.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's how you itemize the Aegis. I mean, it works for both sides, but it just feels really good on Slark because his ulti comes with its own reset like that.
What about the triple purge for Shadow Demon?
I think there's some value in that, but I feel like the kick away, for example...
It can be sick, but it also can play against you sometimes, you know?
I just think that it's... I'm not sure.
We'll have to see what happens here as Roshan has spawned. And Na'Vi, are they going to take that risk? Are they going to try and contest Roshan, knowing that if they lose that fight, the game's over because they don't have the buybacks?
If they lose, even I will boldly say if Infamous lives with their 2 cores and Na'Vi loses with either of the cores, the game is over.
Yeah.
They don't have enough damage from the other side heroes that they can put out. So this is the awkward spot now. If you're Na'Vi, this is playing to win.
Now, Infamous plays really fast. They might be able to get this Roshan and still assault the base while buybacks are down. So maybe Na'Vi needs to try and get inside that pit right now. Epicenter being activated. No, he didn't jump. All right.
Okay, that
TPN, Sineko. Okay.
I actually think that's without buyback on Sineko, I think that's a close call whether or not you RP there, because you could just give him the refresher at that point.
Yeah,
he has it. In fact, I actually think it's not a bad idea to go for it there.
So we have Cheese on Tusk, Aegis on Cryslock.
Radiant's
took the axe, Tusk it. So they agree with you. The Walrus kick.
I think the Walrus kick just has more value. I would agree with you if the SD had like 2 more items, but because he gets popped so fast in every fight that we see anyways, I don't think there's...
They know Hector's not here. They know Hector's not here. That's why they're going to try and initiate a little bit. Blizzy's trying to catch people right now. Cryslock is going to be anybody who tries to go into this high ground, and it's the Elder Tino to get picked off as he gets a 4-staff away. Ghost Scepter gets pulled back by the shockwave, and they're going to be forced to use False Promise. It's not that long of a cooldown, but it might be enough that Infamous feel like they can go for the high ground push right now.
Infamous are insane. The fact that they're risking their game on a 3-on-5 in that position, like, yes, I understand that your Slark's very strong there, but it's still really scary not having one of your main cores and the other one is going back from base, and they're still playing aggressively. I mean, I appreciate it.
Bottom shrine is under attack.
It's almost like Navi's like a slightly less YOLO version of them. It's some sort of like weird stylistic clash. Like maybe this is just the best series that we get to cast during this group.
Yeah, that could be. This is the second Na'Vi series that we've cast, in the OG versus Na'Vi one was quite entertaining.
Na'Vi is a fun team.
Yeah.
I think they just bring out the team fight of people.
Okay. Level 25 coming in for Tuss. You go for the 15%? Walrus punch it up?
I don't know how many times you're actually going to hit them.
I don't know either, but I don't know how good 7 seconds of snowball cooldown.
Maybe if it was like 12, I can see value in that. 7 is kind of...
It's pretty low. It only goes down to 11-second cooldown.
That's not that... The problem with both talents for him right now is that he doesn't live long enough to cast either of them, really. That's the real issue here.
But if you believe in the RNG, you might just be able to go in, Walrus punch somebody, and then right-click them and get a Walrus punch again.
If you believe in it.
And he's going to go for it. He believes in it.
You can achieve.
He believes in the 15%. All right, so they don't have buyback on Whisper. He actually, because of his buyout...
Say Whisper never has buyback.
Yeah.
He's had a rough one.
That's super weird.
They dropped the double ward too. They've created the eyes. Oh,
they're gonna be able to make the initiation on Hector, and he's actually getting beaten down too fast, but there's the disruption to be able to save him. Didn't actually get the blink out of Whisper. He's gonna try and finish up Blizzy. Does manage to get him the burrow strike, trying to get him away. The kick out on the Alchemist. Whisper, he's gonna be able to get out. No, he's sided up by stuff.
Oh man, I can't believe he decided to try to go for the TP on the lifesteal. That was... He was in the middle of 5 heroes. There's a bash on the house.
And Cryslock is going for pickoffs right now. At the same time, he's just lost 2 people. He was bottom lane, by the way, when that fight started.
That's... Infamous is just pushing their luck way too much.
Oh, this is stressing me out, Blitz.
The thing is like, Infamous is actually outplaying them, but then they'll do something that resets the game. And Na'Vi is a very disciplined team, so they're taking these moments to just say, all right, well, I guess.
Every single time, like, Lifestealer's bottom, let's try and fight. Slark is bottom, let's try and go for a fight
Na'Vi
again.
make, like, the technical decision every time.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Cryslock is just trying to make single-handed plays, which is going off a lot of these times, trying to get the pick off on Sineko, misses there. Slark does have the Aegis as well as BKB. He's got his pounce coming up as well as Dark Pact. It's so hard to be able to lock down this hero, as you could see. He threw out the Abyssal Blade, doesn't quite get him. Zion force-staffing forward, trying to get himself in position for a good spirit and to stomp. But Crystallock managed to pounce onto the high ground, so he's going to be good. Crystallized.
He just goes to fuck. He actually just stopped
himself. He really did.
Oh, man, this seems... They're funny.
I mean, I watched the Lifestealer die in Tusk, and I look over to Crystallock, and he's farming neutrals. He's like,
You know what this team is? They play with like a flair. You know what I mean? Like there's there's a definite flair. I actually love both these teams. They might actually be my favorites at the tournament just to cast.
Great slot. No life stealer, no problem.
He's just looking at people, man.
He's saying, I don't care. You guys 1v5 can't lock me down, but he gets hit by a burst strike, forced out the BKB.
He's still going for it.
He's not backing down. Apparently not. He's going to dark pack. There goes the Lincolns. Doesn't have a BKB. Blizzy almost caught Schofield in that same position again. And he's going to hit some creeps. He knows Blizzy's up here.
His team is fighting on this left side here. He no longer has
Broke the Lincolns. Managed to get the burrow strike, but the dark pack was there. Crystallized stuns himself. And they're going to come back in. Whisper's looking for his opening. He's going to go for Magical. That's going to be Neon Disc popped as both of the cores are now going to turn and fight. Magical trying to get away from Whisper. Schofield being hit by the range right now is unable to blink in. Snako has an Neon Disc himself. It's one of those after that's going to buy him some time. Where is he going to use that false promise? Actually on the use it. Be able to protect one of the cores. Crystallizes now managed to bring down the Magus. No RP here. This gets kicked away. Now he's isolated. That's exactly what Crystallizes and has to run down to the river and make sure that he's going to be finished off. And now they march towards the base. They've blown their buybacks. They want Navi to do the same here. They're going to be able to fight Zai. Going to be apply shards. But of course, Dav over gets him a little bit farther away from Crystallized. Back to the base. Back to safety as he goes. Blizzy, meanwhile, cutting creep waves. Wants to make sure that they don't have to blow the buyback, but they do.
And that's going to be all the buybacks now out. From the side of Navi, aside from the Brood, right? He still has it?
Brood has a buyback. Blizzy also has his buyback on the same
Look
game.
at the buyback status of this game right now. 4 people have buyback.
Buyback on Lifestealer, buyback on Slurk. So Infamous definitely have their buybacks on the most important heroes left.
But for Navi, I mean, Crystallize not having it is so massive.
Yeah.
They've got to play so careful here.
Oh, trying to go for the Burrow Strike. Immediately gets Walrus punched up. Fuel Scepter on himself. Doesn't have a Sandstorm. Has a blink. Unable to get it off in time. Goes Savage Blade. He's has to go in. RP. Magical trying to go in deep, but Schofield pops the Refresher. Has a second RP to be able to lay it down, but he doesn't have to because of the Abyssal Blade. They have another buyback. This is going to be one of the last buybacks coming out from Navi right now. They still have the buyback. He has it. And Infamous not overextending themselves. Just going for the objectives.
They have RP. They want to take this fight. They have RP.
They have RP with the Refresher used by Schofield. He can go back in.
Out of mana.
That's why Navi are trying to actually separate so much, but Schofield doesn't actually have a whole lot of mana to work with right now. Whisper immediately jumping on a Blizzy. Blizzy trying to make his initiation once again. He's going to activate the chase, but it doesn't matter. 100% to 0. Instantly, his Whisper punches him up and down he goes. Zaneko forced to use the false promise on himself. Hector forces that out of him, then turns back into the Magus. And just getting popped by Crystallize. They're going to go for this melee rash, but they still had the close the entire time. Navi held on to that one, but they have to take the 4 versus 5. And Crystallize and the rest of Infamous know it too. They see the opportunity. They're going to be able to get the Magus on Stars. Landing on it too. But Hector has the range to be able to slow down Crystallize. He can't quite get on top of Crystallize in time to dark pack protect him. Gets in front of him though. As he gets there, puts the blade locked down the fuck. He's dead. Same goes with Whisper. 2 dead. 3 dead actually on the side of Infamous. 2 of them have buyback though.
And there was no mana the entire time on the Magnus. He had so many different opportunities. I think Magical actually saves the game by hitting him twice.
Yeah.
With the Diffusal Blade, burns just enough mana to keep Schofield more or less useless in that engagement, but he does pick up an Invis rune. They don't have any sort of detection right now, Cap.
Yeah, this is nasty because Navi feel like they're in a situation.
This is an all-in for them.
They have to force the buyback and thinking that once the buyback goes down, they're going to try and retreat, but they're probably going to be caught by Schofield.
This is such a timely rune for them. As they're peeing towards this bottom lane, there's no boots of travel on the ET, so this is a pure 4-man situation.
They have to be able to create an opening where Magical can sneak in and finish up the Megas.
They really want to force the buyback on the Slark, though.
Absolutely.
They cannot afford to get out of this situation without forcing the buyback on the Slark. Otherwise, Infamous will just reset and go for it again. But they might have no choice here with only 40 seconds. They don't feel comfortable going for this. They know that the Refresher was popped on this Magnus, so he has RP. They're saying to dissuade them. They're going to play Megas.
Yeah, the buyback on Whisper is all we can force out of them. We can't go for more. And Infamous, now they're just left in a situation, control the map, go for that next Roshan, which is up in 40 seconds. That could still lose Infamous or Navi the game, that fight around the Roshan pit.
Yes. The thing about Infamous's lineup is they still need that backline support to be there for control in the late game. So what Navi needs to do is actually ignore the heroes that they know have buyback. Go for the supports, the SD and the mag as soon as you can. If you can ride out that wave and force some sort of like 2-on-4 situation, that is the ideal play for Na'Vi right now.
And that's why Magical keeps doing what he's doing, which is blinking into the back line.
Yes.
And trying to catch them. And that's why Whisper is always there with the counterplay. He always counters that blink in with a blink in of his own. Walrus punches Magical, and then he's all of a sudden surrounded by 4 heroes.
And that's why I really like the kick.
Yeah.
So that he could protect as well.
Right.
Rather than looking for offensive opportunities like people do with this ability, I think in this game at least, it shows a lot more defensive capability in protecting that back line. As they're going to go for the Roshan,
don't think
Mega
Na'Vi
Creeps.
can do this.
Mega Creeps make it impossible
Yeah.
for you to defend this.
It's become so painfully obvious when you try and smoke outside of your base to contest Roshan against Mega.
Roshan is falling to the tire.
All right, so we had
This should go for the SD now.
This one is going to go to Stinger.
Now
So
there's
almost everyone has the
there's a Shadow
Aghanim
Blade, by the
Scepter.
way, on the mag, and I think it's because he knows that the gems and the wards are trying to wear a little bit thin.
Yeah.
Especially if one of the supports go down.
I mean, combined with the fact that, like, honestly, a gem carrier just can't sit close enough to see these heroes.
And if the mag is out of the fight, it's more so that Magical can't get on top of him, I think. Because he realized the folly of the last fight was he just ran out of mana because he got right-clicked twice. And being able to play around the SD, or the Shadow Blade, allows you to reset the fight a little bit more. As Infamous, they're going to go for the win right now. They know there's no buybacks. Only available on their ET.
Radiant's middle tower
Taking
has
down the
fallen.
first tier 4. A team that started off their first day 0-2 against OG. May just be able to find their first win of the tournament by bringing down Na'Vi in this first game, but it's going to take a lot of discipline here. Splendid trying to make their initiation, trying to go for Hector. Crystallize follows that up. Immediately go for the back line, but Stinger protects himself with a Gold Scepter. Crystallize still has that anti to Pulse Bomb is going to be used on him. They try and go for the control as best as possible. How much can this heal do for him? They actually make Joey Schofield. He had no buyback as well. They doing a ton of damage to Crystallize, and it will get up. He will pop. The regen wasn't good enough for him. He doesn't have a buyback either. Zai's going to fall as well. He does have a buyback. They have to be able to deal with Magical, though. Magical can still output the damage to slow down
Radiant's
Infamous
middle tower is
and
under
keep
attack.
them from finishing up this round. It's a 4 versus 4.
There's no RP though. This is their best opportunity.
But he had an Aeon test. Meanwhile, the rest of the team's just hitting on the throne. Hector says, we're not going for heroes. We're going for buildings. The Dota gotta have all the balls. Can't stop the Na'Vi calling like that. They say any longer. We can't defend the throne. Infamous. They managed to persevere through so.
OG's turn to pick.
About it, and you have multiple ways to cancel his life
Even
barrier.
if we get stomped, let's say
Dyer's turn to
between
pick.
2nd and 4th
Earth
minute, you can
Shaker.
always just X mark yourself, TP back, play around the shrines if it need, you have enough sustain.
Go. This guy always makes his way back into TI. Disappear throughout the year. Not that he has disappeared throughout the year, but for one of the iconic TI heroes. Looks like
10
Jarek's
seconds.
playing him. G thinking it is the absolutely
5
perfect
seconds
pick for this
left.
game.
So they need a mid hero. It looks like it's definitely plugging a mid. They know
Yep.
the matchup.
Are you looking for a lane counter, or do you just want something that fits your draft? If you're
Puck could be a good
Timber
pick.
Spirit.
Choose your
Or
hero.
this, yeah, something elusive because they don't have a lot of lockdown. There's an Earthshaker, yes, but he needs to commit hard to act.
Okay. So we'll see Sumail playing Ember Spirit, one of the more prominently picked heroes of this tournament. The flexibility between Ember being a mid laner as well as a safe laner, part of that, but also just a all-around strong hero that comes online nice and early with this max sleight of fist that you can just spam. The constant damage adds up throughout a team fight. For a G, Shaker Magnus is not really the scariest of dual lanes. If anything, you're just maybe looking at Shaker like what, pulling waves or messing with the creep equilibrium using Fissure. Doesn't really feel like that dual lane that's going to
10
be able
There's
to.
not going to be too much kill potential on that lane. Unless they get a good block
5
and then maybe
seconds
skewer
left.
under the tower. But as you mentioned, they'll probably try to drag the creeps under their tower, just farm up and focus on the top lane. There's a lot of kill potential since you can use the Ink Swell on magic immune units now, so spin plus Swell, pretty deadly.
That's probably would be a big part why they wanted it, because it is going to be a 5 position of 4 that we saw last game. So you got to imagine this game, Arteezy sees this lane, he's probably thinking, I'm free farm. You're playing Sven into a Shaker Magnus lane, there is nothing they can do to contest your farm. It's probably looking a happy farmer this game, and you can have Fly, you know, this is one of those 5 positions that loves to sack the jungle camps as well, so should be a good game. I feel like EG to me have a better, more well-rounded draft. And that's more in their comfort zone. It's not just about, you know, how their draft match up against their opponents, but this feels much more like an EG style of draft.
I have a theory, like if Abaddon can get the Aghanim Scepter here, you shoot coils in the 1600 range to get Ags.
Okay.
So you just need to be around the RP, and then I don't think anyone is gonna die if it comes to that one point where you can get the Ags. There's always a better item choice, especially for the start, but we'll see how this game goes.
All right, well here we go. It is game 2 of OG versus EG. Teams looking to find themselves in the winner bracket. That's always the key thing with TI groups, you know. Winning the group is nice. If you're one of those teams that can pick your opponent and you win that first round of the winner bracket, that's something you find yourself in the top 6. But starting lower bracket in best of ones is like the worst case scenario for any team. But actually, worst case scenario. We don't talk about that. But I mean, these are 2 teams you wouldn't expect to see eliminated from the groups.
Definitely not, but EG right now is in a really tough spot. They won 1 out of 5 games.
Yeah. So they need some wins. Plenty of Dota left to be played. You play, what, 16 games total, right? You play against 8 other opponents, 2 games? Yeah, you play 16 games total. So they've still got 11 games left. 4-day groups. It's a marathon. This isn't a sprint. You can have a bad day 1. You're still fine. Tower shot casually. Has a crown starting item. Thompson going all in on the early game stats, looking to rush that Veil, of course.
That's an interesting build.
Not normally, null talisman, of course, yeah. But he's just gonna get a faster Veil, slightly less damage, but you can use Nether Blast for the last hits. What's Seb gonna do? Is he gonna level up the secure this rune, or?
I always wanted to see an ancient fall.
Get it. The stun is there, and he's gonna lose that bounty rune.
Come over
It's gonna be 2 for 2.
It was 3 for 1. S4 stole one. Ran in, it looks like, and grabbed the enemy ones.
Wow, I don't think EG knows how to count to 3. They got 3 runes.
EG, they know exactly. 3 is their number. It's Valve who don't have to have 3.
Dark Willow. Also starts with Sage Mask.
Bassi. So it won't be the Abaddon who gets the Bassi, but be on the Dark Willow. So as we come to expect, a lot of these off-lane dual lanes with Bassi Ring, Willow with the Abaddon. They've got the Aphotic Shield early. One way play against this lane perhaps is they're just going to have such great defensive capabilities with the Aphotic Shield, and you've got the Shadow Realm on the Dark Willow. Willow who does manage to block that pull camp. No-Tail coming in with the Stroke of Fate, trading hits here, looking to push crit out of this lane. He's got a vision support here. They could find themselves with an early first blood if they get a couple more right clicks and a Stroke of Fate. One more right click with a Stroke of Fate. He may not even need it. He does need it because there's an Aphotic Shield, and that's going to save Crit's life, as Anna also helps to zone out forward some extra right clicks, so they don't get the kill. S4 came in just in time.
And Juggernaut has crit level 1 instead of a spin, because he's just trading hits against the melee hero.
This is something, we see sometimes in these melee versus melee matchups where the crit as single target damage is better than the spin. Level 1, you don't necessarily go for the kill. You don't even have any points in the ink swell yet, so Anna just wants that 20% crit chance. Brambles coming out, try and mess with some of the last hits and secure this lane a bit, but here comes Jerax with these crits. If he gets the block in, he blocks his forward, doesn't hit him at the start, but he's completely surrounded. Now he levels up the spin. They are looking for the skill, but Jerax is very low. The Stroke of Fate is there, and Anna should be able to get the first blood. Gets the kill just before No-Tail goes down. That's a shared bounty.
Nice little sidestep from Abaddon to not get stunned at least, but with that block, there's nothing to do about it. Ember Spirit picked up a case room on the mid lane.
Scariest of things, perhaps, but... See, a full-on tri-lane from OG. Thompson, is he gonna get killed here by Sumail? The decrypt is there. The Nether Blast, 1 or 2 more right clicks. Thompson has a tango. He tried to go for the tree block. Oh, that would have been so good if it worked.
Ember Spirit had a Quelling Blade, so I don't
Dire's
think
middle tower's in
would have
trouble.
mattered. And now Ember Spirit has enough money to buy a bottle after this creep.
Doesn't have to go for that suicide power play that you often see when these mid solos happen. Thompson tries to find the deep ward mid, but guesses wrong. And Dire Ward is on the other side. His bottom lane now. They get another kill on S4. This tri-lane finding a lot of action early on. Dire Vision, 2 Dire Wards around this mid lane. Really want to make sure Sumail doesn't get pressured too bad of a time early on.
And Sumail flies out the courier to the side, to the secret shop to actually get a bottle faster. Meanwhile, in the top lane, it's Seb who's alone. A lot of kill potential from Bane and Sven. He can't really TP out.
He's having a good start until that death, though. He's got 9 CS. He's level 3.5, so... Despite the death there, it has been an okay lane, considering it's a 1v2. Prep. Extra fissure damage as Thompson doesn't go for the Nether Blast. I think knowing that the Slide of Fist can be used to dodge that Nether Blast. We're seeing it again here as bottom lane Anna actually goes down. Prince Dark Willow. See that kill.
They need to control both of the mids. Actually, Thompson bought a Hell instead of a bottle.
Really rushing Sveil. He's going to have it before he even hits level 6. So he's looking to set some records on the fastest Sveil time, I guess. Mid? Uh-oh, he's in trouble. Throws out the decrep to push female back, but fly up to. This is probably jungle stacks. You know, you've got a Sven on your team. Sven doesn't really need too much help to free farm this lane anymore, but if you want to fully step out of the lane, you definitely can't see Sven do that alone, but the priority may be much more on just giving our TZ farm, and yeah, Fly's just like, alright.
I think Fly's just gonna stack some camps, go for the bounties. Seems like it's gonna be, again, 3 for EG.
Bounty.
2, 3, yep. Fly got some stacks along the way. There was a Shaker Illusion where you could have done some stacks with, but it looks like he was prioritized more on those bounty runes at the time. Hero back to the high ground. Save gets back to safety. Things settling down here in the lane stage, but EG 2k gold lead already. This laning stage has been very favorable for them with the kills they're getting, the farm they're securing. Sven, RTZ absolutely free farming, but they've got to be careful. Here comes Anna again in the bottom lane. He's got the X-Wall started. 1 or 2 more ranks might be enough, but the sun immediately dispelled off by the Aquatic Shield, but the Blade Fury allows him to chase through the Shadow Realm, and the damage from the magic is enough. Anna gets a healing ward in the trees here, so he's healing up, but he's completely trapped and surrounded. He's trying to turn and fight. The healing ward, not enough there, just level 1. And now No-Tail, he needs to be careful himself.
No-Tail's dead. Now Earthshaker doesn't have a Fissure. He does.
Got a totem pulled up by a Fissure. They are looking to turn this one. No-Tail with the X-Wall stun. He's got 1 kill. He's getting a second. This healing drops all kinds of prompts and stroke of fate as well.
Abaddon
double kill.
Abaddon has the Aphotic Shield ready.
Oh, he just completely underestimated the damage as well as the Ink Swell. The stats
actually huge. No-Tail got 2 kills. Now he's sitting at 1,000 gold 6 minutes in.
So much for being a 5 position. He's going to immediately turn that gold just into wards and boots, but still. That healing ward was so underrated as well. I don't even know if they realized the healing ward was there because they killed Anna despite it doing some healing. But it came into play later on for those supports. Managed to get the better of the EG aggression. 7 Ember Pugna. Well, 7 himself.
I mean, someone should post this on Reddit. Check the hero. Whose hero is this? If you just cut off the Pugna, yeah, Branch and the Whale, DI edition.
Yes, the MMR. We would not expect, yeah, I mean, this is a new style of play and build coming out from Thompson.
Thompson was always a guy who was inventing things in
Dire's
Dota.
putting up
Yes.
a barricade.
He plays Dota his way. And that's something I think
Dire's
OG
middle
have
tower
always
looks to
really
be
liked with players they
disintegrating.
picked up. When they picked up Hannah, it was something they said it's like, this guy just plays Dota his way. He's not just looking to follow the meta. He's looking to kind of create the way heroes are played. And Thompson, he took that to the next level. His Invoker, the Meteor Hammer Invoker, probably the one that he's most well known for, it kind of inventing. Here he is with a Naked Veil plus single branch. He's now turned that into some brown boots.
Now they should know something is up. Bane.
Radiant's
You'd
bottom
expect the
tower
word
is
somewhere.
under
The question
attack.
is, will you find it on this hill?
They have a sentry on the hill, so they know it's not there.
Radiant's bottom tower's still there.
Down bottom, it looks like
But
this is a lane
not
that
for long.
OG have kind of had to vacate a little bit.
Dire's middle tower
Really
looks to be
spent
disintegrating.
much time contesting
Radiant
it.
calls in the
And it's gonna be falling
fortification.
back to the jungle, I imagine. Mid lane, Thompson,
Radiant's bottom tower needs a
Big
hand.
gone on here. He's got the life drain. He's trying to get the Willow, but Willow gets out of range for it, so he will end up going down to the Sleight of Fist.
Radiant's bottom
Nice
tower
attempt
is
by
under
Thompson
attack.
turning around. Going for the life drain of the hero
Dire's
that
top
was
tower
such a
might be
long range.
going down.
Easily broken.
Dire's middle tower has been denied.
That
Radiant's bottom tower
if
is under
Eversprut gets
attack.
that, Bane is just
Dire's
guarding
top
it.
tower
He
is
can
under
easily game
attack.
the side lane.
Okay. This is not a lane you want to really get lane at this point if you're OG, but that's why they send their 5 inches down.
That's going to be a free tier 1 tower on the bottom lane.
His job is just to try and defend this and keep it alive as long as
Radiant's
possible
bottom
using
tower
stroke
needs a
of
hand.
EG understanding that, punish him and followed up by defending a tier 1 tower. It's easy.
Radiant's
With
bottom
the last
tower
hit. That's
must have
almost
been
his Midas.
busy.
Like 9-minute Midas phase boots wand. Really good timing on his item. Top lane. Just found another kill.
RP used. I mean, it's 9-minute mark. You're gonna use it to
Dire
get a
skin.
single kill. Same
And
goes
a
for
fino
Enigma
sneaky
and
iron
Black Hole.
structures
Whenever it's
are
ready, if you can
fortified.
get something happen, you should do it.
Dire's top tower is about to be
tells you to
Radiant's
scan
top
connected,
rubble. Radiant's middle
Speedy
tower is not
relocation.
feeling the
Behind
love.
it. They're just going to go dive for this kill.
Dire's top
Sleight of fist
tower,
to
a
start
tower
damage
no
on vision. Catch them out a little bit here. Remnant on forward. Arteezy's got the stun, and this should be a Gen no tail.
Of my
Goes for
life.
one last stroke of fate, but won't get a
Fade
chance to
from memory.
throw it out before he dies.
Dire's putting the hurt on Radiant's middle tower.
He's out of mana.
Oh, he jukes it. Sumail with the read.
Dire's top
Sees
tower
the
is
two
under
pump
attack.
fakes and jukes the
Radiant's
actual
middle
totem.
tower is under attack.
That was a dropping fast. Thompson, it's up to him to come in and respond to this one. There is a fissure. There's 4. Has got the level 6. He can level up the borrowed timing. Yeah, he's going to choose to do so. But he's been stunned up, and he may just die here if he's not careful. He does have the stun from Arteezy to help him out. Thompson is still looking to chase. Nether Blast is there, but there's no life drain, so
Raindrop and the Bracer will keep him alive. He
Never
also has a
refuse
flask
good
in the
given.
backpack. Will heal himself fully. Bounty rune spawn.
oh, bounty room.
That was four bounties for
yeah.
EG.
Okay, and yeah, Anna was not able to get either of those top ones. It was crit both. Unlike last game, this time around it's EG with a much better laning stage. And it's not necessarily entirely off of aggression, although we have seen Arteezy move around the map from top down to bottom to push to mid. But it's very much around also balancing out the aggression with farming. Arteezy with the Midas, the stacks as well in the jungle. They are playing nice and efficient Dota as well. Thompson, he's really deep here.
He's really there.
Killing spree!
Yeah.
Out of the position, trying to make too much happen. EG 4,000 network lead, 11 minutes in. But they have 2 supports who can't really shout out the waves. These are like 2 worst heroes.
Anna, TP's in. Play Tyrion to get himself out of a precarious position. And you know, OG's lineup, you're looking at Empowered Jug, you're looking at defending with RP. This is the kind of draft that will play from behind, and all it takes is one team fight to turn this game.
Exactly, but there's this uncontested Sven who has 10 of Midas, level 9. It's going to be a really different game from what Arteezy had in game number 1.
This is not going to be the Arteezy struggle that we had. Game 1, it was like he knew he had to fight as a gyrocopter, and the fights they were taking weren't working out for him. So he wasn't farming, he wasn't getting kills, but this time around, he's getting kills and he's farming creeps. He's 3-0-2 while having stacks to farm and taking over the jungle as well. Mel also 3-0-2 on his Ember Spirit. The G core duo having a fantastic start here.
you can see what kind of game OG is playing right now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, they don't have a single observer board over the river.
Got in on No-Tail here with the Grip. And No-Tail staying alive here. The RP comes just to cancel that Grip, although it was about to wear off. Jamel's going to be a little bit careful. Gets caught by the X-Fall stun. Is he going to go for the kill? Has a sleight of fist, cancels the salve. Jamel isn't going to miss for the kill.
Courier has been killed.
Dire lose that Courier. I believe tower shots just finished off, and Jamel has remnants here. What's he up to? Plenty of mana just to remnant away, and I don't think they're going to be able to get this kill. Slide of fist, remnant away. A Courier kill. No hero kills.
So Arteezy, it's a full Echo Saber. He's actually missing Ogre Axe.
But he's going to have to...
Or it could be a full Echo
Radiant's
Saber.
bottom tower is under attack.
Because he might just queue up Ogre Axe for a BKB.
Radiant's bottom tower
Good.
needs a
Takes it
hit.
back towards his T1 mid tower. Should be able to maybe bring him down when this borrowed time ends, but I don't think they want to hard commit for this one. They outdraw Dukes here. They still want this S4 kill. I'm just going with the Blade Fury, but they haven't got the kill. They're going to be forced to back off. Omni-Slash still available, but if you commit that Omni-Slash aggressively, you're probably dying. Unsure if you can get the kill.
Probability of winning to be above 99%.
Feels confident. I don't know if friend Dota Plus agrees.
Radiant are
That's
scanning
39%.
for enemies.
Dota Plus thinking things
They
are a
need
bit more
only
EG
60%
favored.
more, huh?
No-Tail's like, I did the math.
OG does not want to take a fight right now. They want to finish the items. They want any item on Seb. He's going for Pipe. And Earthshaker needs 1,000 gold to finish off his Blink Dagger. Right now they're in a really spot where they just want to farm. With the Empower on Jug, get a couple of items.
Yeah, just going from neutrals to neutrals. Wants to get that, at least Manta style as a defensive tool. For EG, you know, you can match this farm. If anything, you can kind of outpace it with the Sven Midas, although the Echo Saber being removed also does make that harder. And Thompson, again, finds a kill on Grit here in the mid lane. This is the early Veil with the damage
Dire's
jam,
top tower is under attack.
causing a lot of problems. Bold move into this enemy jungle, just trying to scout out some of these stacks to see what's going on. Sven's turning this on with the stun though. Don't think any follow-up lockdown, doesn't look like it. The bait not quite here, at least not right now. Charging on forward, has the turn, they're trying to bait up this borrowed time. Echo Slam comes in, doesn't do a whole lot of damage, barely clips Arteezy and S4. Borrowed times it off here, and Arteezy does pop the God Trick. He's going to look to go and find the Stewart. Is there, followed by now, people the fear! It stops the Omni-Slash, that saves their lives here. They should still look to turn this one around. Hannah goes to the more, but without the Omni-Slash on the RP, Crit saves the day. The healing ward gets sniped as well by Sumail. He does manage to dodge the stun from the Stormbolt here. Hannah goes charging forward here. The Blade Fury damage should be enough with the Omni-Slash fall off. He doesn't even need the Omni-Slash. Now he gets the double kill. Anna playing this fight so incredibly well in the backline. It's been 9 men up though. Channel like chase and kill. Looks like Anna's going to be back to safety as Sumail. Yeah, he's going to slide this down the puck now. Sumail on a mega kill streak.
Sumail can do whatever he wants in this fight because he has a baton behind him to back him up with the Aphotic Shield and nice grip from
Pretty
the
good
bait,
move
but
if you ask me.
from the high ground. But this is not the target that you want to go for.
It was OG coming out on top of that fight in terms of gold though, even though it was a 3-2.
Once Mag uses the RP, you do not want to focus him after that.
It was such a good fear coming out from Dark Willow. If not for that, Anna had an Omni-Slash, or even just right clicks on top of the RP. That would have been such a good team fight for OG. So, Anna's very happy with the outcome. He got 2 big kills in that fight. Sven and Abaddon. He killed 2 cores. That's why OG got so much gold out of that, despite it being a 2-for-3 trade, numbers favoring EG as far as the kills, total
Dire
kills go.
scanning for enemies.
Anna has a Diffusal Blade right now, so that's going to help him out to have the extra slow, extra kill potential on whoever. Crit has Yule Scepter. This Dark Willow will be really hard to kill, especially with a Baton on the team.
They have got several nukes that can go through the Shadow Realm. I mean, they have a lot of nukes. I mean, every hero has spells that go through it, in fact. Blade Fury, Stroke of Fate, Fissures, Shockwaves, Nether Blast. But it's still a Willow. It's still a very pesky, annoying. Lads picked up by S4, so it's going to be just seeing all those teamfight items coming out from the offlaners. S4's Abaddon and even the Magnus, the hood completed, looking for that fast pipe. Now bottom set, trouble here. Yeah. Hills in the bramble. Instantly the tips come into play.
Yeah, I don't think they needed the God's strength, but still, they're just gonna pressure the bottom tower a little bit. These two supports from EG, they're not good at killing creeps, but they're really good at killing every single time the ulti is up, either Fiend's Grip or when you have a Bedlam. Now he has a pretty easy setup with Cursed Ground into Yule Scepter.
EG want this tier 1 mid tower, but they lost their creep wave. Instead, we may just see them.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower had a run
the
in
ward
with the
gets
Dire.
revealed, but it also expires, so EG will not find any D-ward money for themselves. Tier 1 mid tower claim, so both teams losing their tier 1 mid, such a crucial tower objective to be looking for.
Oh, double damage, Jug, smoke.
Right, where can they go? Do Dire know this? I think there's a Radiant Things coming out. I don't believe EG actually...
They don't know what's happening.
There's such good Radiant vision, and Seb's positioned on the outside of the pit. He wants to be able to, you know, scout your own side.
Yeah, but it's gonna be too late.
Thompson. Beater himself out. They need to get that near in soon. I believe they're going to be a little bit too late here. Can Crit get in on time? He's got a Blade Fury as well if he needs to use it. Anna's trying to get it low there. It's going to be a run into the pit. He comes in too late. Anna's already got it. Anna picked up the Aegis. Rolls the Roshan kill. And OG want to take this fight now. They've got Nates. They pick up the Dark Lord inside the fight. Arteezy comes to the backline, goes on the pug. The problem is he's got no solution. There's no BKBs. Now as well, the outpeak. He catches out a couple here. Anna charging forward. He's still got Omni Slash, but he doesn't want to commit on too much. But he does want to throw this one. He knows there was no fire rendered out. He burned his mana with the Diffusal Blade. He's killed off 3. S4 now in trouble. No borrowed time available. They're killing them one by one. Jarek tips S4. I think they know this Swede has no escape to the Diffusal Blade slope. S4 is going to be a slow casualty. Arteezy got Arteezy for 5. But that's because OG were focusing on the rest of the kills.
It's a really risky play, but I think Dark Willow should have gone for Terrorize inside the Roche pit after that. Tried to use the Bramble to get some vision, but also Sumail went in with the Remnants to get a Roche kill, maybe even get the Aegis, but Anna still has the Aegis. Now they're going to pick up 4 bounties. Jarex has a Blink Dagger and an ulti. They can still take this fight.
Yeah, it's like there's bounties that spawn, and I think part of them is like, oh, we're gonna fall back and get Vanguards, but then they're also like, wait, we're really strong right now. Let's take a fight, baby. The Blink Dagger position on the high ground stops Fly from entering his own jungle, but it does look like, yeah, they're gonna reset. They're gonna fall back, take some battles.
Dire is scanning for enemies.
They should try and take another
Dire's
fight
top
while
tower
they're
is
still
under
weak.
attack.
Or they can wait for Mags, RP, and the Pipe can just use the courier. 40 seconds until next RP.
Dire's top tower is
Do they
about
have
to be
another stroke?
Radiant's
They do.
top rubble.
And then also Grimstroke hit the level 10 a couple of minutes ago, so he's good to play this game. I feel like the supports with GPM
Radiant's bottom
talents
tower needs a hand.
are probably the strongest ones. Ogre,
Dire's
Wyvern,
top tower is about to
Grimstroke.
be Radiant's top rubble. Radiant's bottom tower is
Happy
under
camper
attack.
with his GPM talent.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, and it's contested T2 tower top. Sven doing what he can mid. He's got the
Radiant's
Blink
bottom
Dagger, so
tower
not the
needs a
easiest
hand.
here to go find. Arteezy, it feels like the same problem as last game. A very different game overall, but it's this BKB timing of
Dire's
things that
structures
comes a
are
little bit
fortified.
too late. He needed it like for that fight there in order to take a team fight.
Either that or Abaddon needs to take care of it.
Radiant's middle tower is
And again,
not
he can't really defend.
above.
He's gone in on the backlines here. He's looking for the pug now. Can he finish him off? Thompson got his feet grip to help him out. He's got the ward on the high ground as well. The life drain. He's got the double life drain as well with the soul bite. He's healing so much because of this. S4's borrowed time comes up, but Thompson's back to full health. And they've lost the Shaker though, but OG still want to take this fight with the Aegis in hand. Unfortunately for them, EG refalls on the high ground. The 2-man stun coming out. He's so Arteezy's absolutely deleted. 7. The Aegis popping on Hannah means he could be in trouble when it comes down to this one. There's no feed script to deal with. The only side gets there. He's bouncing around. He's not actually going to get out into the 3 heroes. He goes for the Blade Fury TP instead.
They're
That
still
Omni Slash.
chasing. Do they have it? Yes. There's the Yule Scepter.
Ultra kill for Arteezy. Well, you mentioned he needs Abaddon to take care of him. Arteezy just says, I'll take care of myself. He hits multiple hero stuns with his Stormhammer, catches out the backlines. Really well played team fight by Arteezy.
Yeah, OG positioning in this particular fight was not that good. Also, Jarex got caught before he could get the
Radiant's middle tower is
echo
under
off.
attack.
The Jug only did 500 damage. That Omni Slash, it was a Abaddon that was, I think, or something. He just did no damage there. And the other two heroes that were nearby were just ever so slightly out of range, so we didn't actually bounce them with the Omni Slash. Not the fight OG were hoping for.
But this is exactly what they need. EG punished that mistake from OG. Also, there was a really good fear on top of it. I think we were 4-man fear.
Radiant's bottom
a fight
tower
where
is
we
under
didn't
attack.
see the high impact ultis of OG. There was, the
No
RP,
RP, yeah.
the Echo Slap. Jarex was the first to die. Seb never found an RP. Doesn't have Blink Dagger in it. It feels like those are tools that they need to find a way to have them come into play in these team fights.
Radiant
As much as it looked good, like Thompson with that double
How does that
life
even
treatment
work?
with the Soulbind, healing himself back up to full, it felt like Arteezy's initiation didn't really succeed. It doesn't amount to much when you still can't find an Echo or an RP.
OG can still take this fight, for sure. They just need to position themselves properly. It feels like it's going to be a smoke, put a sentry ward. The lanes, bottom lane is not pushed out. Top and middle lane is in a decent spot. But there's a counter smoke from EG.
Leading the way with that Blink BKB now. This next fight's with the BKB, and that's where it gets even harder. Gotta protect their... Magnus or Shaker needs to get off a good ultimate. Ideally both. Oh, they saw that ward get planted, I want to say. And yeah, they know exactly where they are. Ana just goes charging in forward, gets the slow from the defusal. Kibit called.
If someone asked you what inhibit is, would you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a item connoisseur when it comes to Dota. Active barrier. That's... Yeah, inhibit's one of those really random ones. Veil called. Magic weakness. That. I just thought you just veil someone, but apparently you use magic weakness on them.
The rune of invisibility.
Smoke is not actually smoke, it's disguise.
Wow. You should stop that. I'm feeling really stupid right now.
I didn't know this. I was feeling stupid. I read these, I'm like, what? I just thought it was the active was called smoke. BKB's active called Avatar? Did you know it's called Avatar? I feel like this has just changed, right? Surely it wasn't. This hasn't always been Avatar.
Soul Ring active called Sacrifice.
Okay.
Well, that makes a lot of
Oh,
sense.
smoking Ana leading the way. Fights the shot. It's going to delete him. As Arteezy jumps in the backlines, he gets the 2-man stun, but the RP is there just to come around. The Omni Slash is going to go on through doing some good damage here. Here looking for the backlines. Will catch out a couple. Actually catches out Ana as the Omni Slash wears off. But Arteezy is so tremulous, looking for a blink out, I imagine. Or even a blink back in. Thompson, he gets killed off by Arteezy Stormhammer. Jug looking for gun down free here. Ana needs a couple more right clicks, but he's being ripped up now. Skewer is there, cancels the feed script. Nicely played by Magnus, keeping him alive. As that's going to force out a remnant just to escape here. Seb charging on forward. They should be able to at least finish off the bait here. Jarex knows that's a dead bait. He's looking for more tools past, but there's no fresh target to go for.
I think EG is fine with that. Even though Bane died back there, they still forced the buyback out of Magna. And I love what Ana did there. He instantly uses Omni Slash on Sven, so he can't take the fight. Even though he popped the God Strength, he was on half HP, can't really come back, especially if Baron is not healing him.
They're still going to try and push this one. They bought back the Pugna, but they feel confident. And on the front lines is just so tanky with this Scotty Man style. Just getting a tier 3 tower will allow them to take some time as well. Ana goes for the blade. Fury doing 1 damage. He counts the Nether Blast. Actually looks to commit onto Arteezy, who doesn't have Godstream still, so some good damage being dealt here with the Siege Creep and the Nether Blast. His tower's down to 260. Ana wants back in. He wants to finish this one off, and he's middle tower.
Healing Ward is ready.
Have to force it and go for the Rax, say OG. They're going to back off and go for these shrines. prioritizing that top shrine. The ones near Roshan.
Yeah, Rosh will spawn in 30 seconds. That's a quick spawn. We're gonna have their ultis up for when the Rosh spawns.
Dire is scanning for enemies.
Talk about supports with GPM. Dark Willow hits level 15 and gets hers.
Radiant are scanning for enemies. Dire's
Not willing
top
to
shrine is
hard
under
commit to the
attack.
shrine. They threw some Nether Blast, but Anna did not want to right-click it as knowing EG have God Strength back up. That was very much the timing. They go for that high ground push. It was 20-30 seconds without God Strength then. As a result, G could not defend their tier 3. But this Rosh fight is going to be so hotly contested. Fighting around Roshan, this is where buybacks really come into play. And Pugna, buyback on cooldown means Thompson has to play this Rosh fight incredibly close. Balls you bail, just going to go reddening again. They get the two-man move. Is there for you to follow that? You bet. Catches out two jets. He's been taking up RTZ, instantly buys back, but they've also lost Nutel, who does not have a buyback, and Thompson. Talk about his buyback says he's dead to 75. This could be EG securing themselves Roshan. Anna's been slept up. Is there a beam grip? It's on cooldown. It's already being used. Anna's got the Blade Fury.
Anna still has ulti.
Ember's for another remnant. Yeah, they throw out the RP. There's going to be a nightmare to try and save it. Jubei dead as well. Anna with a double kill for his team. Only got the one kill. Godlike streak on Arteezy is ended as S4 does not have forward time, and the Blade Fury is just going to look to chase him down. Derek is done. His buyback coming into play there.
Should go straight into Rosh, but they still have a healing ward. EG, they got way too confident there with Pugna, who had no buyback, Grimstroke as well. But with one good Echo Slam and Anna with ulti, also Emberford has no remnant to fall back to.
They used so much of their control to kill the rest of OG that Anna, he was nightmared up there, but they didn't have any follow-up stun. Right? Arteezy was either out of mana or just didn't have his Stormhammer up because Anna, the second that nightmare wore off, just Blade Fury back safely, re-engaged, and destroyed them with the RP.
Yeah, but Scotty is one of the best items you can get against Sven.
Yeah.
Also, he's sitting on 40 plus armor on Juggernaut, so Sven can't really focus him down. Almost 3,000 HP.
3,000 plus gold on Derek as well. He managed to end Arteezy's godlike streak. Got 1,300 gold. And he's filthy rich. He did have to buy back. So this is where you have Aegis on OG's side, but you've got to be careful. Earthshake and Pugna, no buybacks. Anna, though, in the front lines with an Aegis, he is going to be the one that looks to just break the high ground. So even though Anna's got buyback, they still give him the Aegis because of the style of play that we're going to be seeing from OG, where they want to have this jug. He's the one sieging, he's the one that benefits most from an Aegis.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
They could wait for that butterfly and
Dire's
then
top shrine is
see the
falling.
high ground. It's a really big item. It's getting close to it. Only needs 1,500 gold to finish it.
Butterfly coming soon. Also, the Jug's 25, so with all this armor on Jug, this doesn't feel like the Sven is going to match up against him. He has got a Bloodthorn queued up on Arteezy, so a way of dealing with some of that evasion, but careful. Smail spotted by this Observer Ward. Are they going to hunt him? I think that may be the call. And they chain stun him. Jerex.
Dire's bottom
was
tower is
about
under attack.
Blink and Echo, but Blink got cancelled by Slide. Bottom lane is being
Radiant's
pushed
bottom
in.
tower needs a hand.
Gonna go back and push
Hey,
this one out.
this
One
Dire's
thing I
bottom
noticed
tower.
from the yesterday is that a lot of safe lane towers are being killed 20, 25 plus minutes in. Look, OG's tier 1 tower on top still standing.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
And they just killed the safe lane tower on the bottom.
Yeah, it's just not a priority to play around that part of the map. Here you go, Anna.
Dire's bottom shrine
Gets
is
the butterfly
falling.
level 24.5. He may wait for level 25 before they go for the high ground push. Aegis still with 3 minutes left on it, so good healthy window for him to keep on
Radiant are
farming
scanning
for
for
a
enemies.
minute or two if they want to, but Shaker's actually staying up top. OG's laying a trap. They're going to show well, not really showing these heroes, but maybe they're expecting to be scouted up by a ward or something.
Dire's bottom tower is getting pushed
They're
around.
showing the Jug, so I think the expectation is that this top lane is a safe lane to push, but eventually Jerex says...
Jerex was there. There was a huge
Dire's
creep
bottom
wave.
tower is
Someone
under attack.
overcommitted. He could have gotten a solo kill.
No one on EG was willing to go for that tower. I think recognizing, you know, this Shaker is not
Dire's
shown on the map.
bottom
If you don't
tower
see
is
Shaker,
under attack.
you can't really go for that push. Even now, they're like hiding in the trees. And
Dire's
Arteezy only
bottom
blinks out
tower
because
has
he's got
fallen.
several teammates, including the Abaddon, behind him to save his life.
Radiant's top tower ain't looking
Takes
too
mid, though.
steady.
OG want to go high ground.
Radiant structures are
They see
fortified.
Arteezy's fan top, and this is where like, well,
Dire's
if they're going to be
bottom
top, we
tower's
got to
under
force them
attack.
back. Keep EG honest. Make
Radiant's
sure
top tower's
they
under
don't play out
attack.
the map. You want to force them to defend. And EG maybe
See
have
how
to give up this
Dire's
rack.
middle barracks falls? Radiant's
It's
top
usually
tower
like they want to
just
try and
backed
defend this
out.
one. S4 gets stunned up. He's going to lose his entire mana pool of the board. Time forced out as well. So now there's a 50-second window with it on cooldown, and Ana clears it. Doesn't actually dodge the stun and finds him afterwards, but he's more than okay with this butterfly Aegis. He's just going to take out this melee rack and contest this, essentially.
Let's see him
No
push out.
damage there, and missed chance from Butterfly, and now he's sitting at 50 armor, 49.
They're just gonna swing bottom. They say, let's just do that again, right? If they can't defend mid, what's to say they can defend bottom? But if you're EG, you do not want to go down a second melee racks. That's where this game gets very difficult to play.
Abaddon needs to be close, but maybe needs to stand a bit further behind because they're just popping his borrowed time every single time the fight starts.
Plus 1
They're
second
going all
Omni
in.
duration, yeah.
Bloodthorn on Sven.
Once we have to deal with this Jug. Jug just hit level 25 though, so an extra second of Omni Slash. Usually you often see that extra health, but I think he just feels tanky enough as it is, and once that ability to just Omni Slash the Sven. Gets him over the Bloodthorn, but there's an instant Manta. Ana pops the blade through, he's gonna force RTZ back on the backlines. It was actually the Ember Spirit who initiated it. He's forced to defensively Remnant out of there. He's low at mana though, so Mel's gonna be careful. Popping back up to try and take this fight. Ana with the Lotus Orb bounces the stun back to the Sven. Aegis lasting for 30 more seconds here.
Dire's middle barracks are under
Ana,
attack.
Nightmare is on him and he wants to take it off. Doesn't look like it. Seth just throws out the power. Sven popping the God String here. Is he going to go in? Use the Bloodthorn on him. Yeah, he's going to look to take out Ana's first line. He's even got the damage for it. There we go. Off the Aegis. That Aegis was expiring in 15 seconds anyways. Can they take this fight now? Ana immediately Blakers on the back line. They've lost Crit though. That's the big kill. They were looking maybe for a Dark Hole and Terrorize onto Ana. Instead he's going to be forced to buy back. Ana with the Lotus Orb still on the front lines here. Arteezy can't really throw out that stun unless he's willing to commit a BKB. Does Ana go for this melee racks or do OG play it safe?
Bringing something on Jug. Alright, they're
Got
giving him
the cheese. Yeah.
It's making.
You've got to
space.
burst
This
him now.
Lotus Orb is doing a lot of work because Sven can't really throw
He's
it
out of
down.
mana. Sven, he's down to 150 mana. He can't actually take this fight, even if they don't kill him. Ortiz forced back to the Fountain, so I think OG may try and take this rack. The problem is no one can really wake him up. If Magnus wakes him up, he probably dies for it. So let Ana take the racks here. He's got Blade Fury if you want to use it now, but Sam hiding in the trees. He gets the up. He on the back line. He's Fury forward. They're going to draw another tower. He does get the BKB. Die back line. Ortiz being backed up, but not the die. He's beyond godlike. Ana absolutely destroys them on the back line. Sumail, he's trying to do what he can. He's gone in 1 versus 3. He's lost his Willow. That's a dieback from Crit as well. And Sumail is in all sorts of trouble. EG running out of life. They're just all dead. They're so bound up. 2 of them linked together. This Cure going to poison them as well. And it looks like EG, they're down to their last lives here. They buy back on the Ember Spirit. S4 gets taken out as well. He's got no buyback. Jerks is invis in the backline with the Shadow Blade. He stuns up Sumail once. Gets to the second stun as well. That's an instant dieback from him. And I think this is EG has been 2-0'd by their nemesis. OG take them out once again. It's a bit of deja vu from the love. These two teams met at TI.
OG's understanding of the game can be shown in this series. Sums it up the way they're playing the map, the boarding, everything. You see, they're playing so passively early on because